In the heart of a lush, green valley, there lay a hidden village called Willow Glen. The village was known for its ancient willow tree, whose branches draped gracefully into a sparkling pond. This tree was said to possess magic that could grant one wish to those who proved themselves worthy. The village's guardian of the willow was a wise old woman named Elda, who knew all the secrets of the tree. One day, a young girl named Clara arrived in Willow Glen. She was on a quest to find her missing mother, who had mysteriously disappeared many moons ago. Clara had heard about the willow's magic and hoped it could help her find her mother. Elda welcomed Clara and listened to her story. The willow's magic is powerful, but to unlock it, you must complete 3 tasks that test your heart and spirit. Only then will the tree reveal the truth you seek. Determined to find her mother, Clara agreed to the tasks. Task 1, the Bridge of Courage. Clara's first task was to cross a rickety old bridge that spanned a deep chasm. The bridge was known for being unstable, with creaky wooden planks and a swift river below. As Clara approached, she noticed a small bird perched on the edge, chirping frantically. It turned out that the bird had lost its nest, which had fallen into the chasm. With great care, Clara used her courage and ingenuity. She tied vines together to create a makeshift rope and carefully descended into the chasm. There, she found the nest, gently retrieving it and climbing back up to the bridge. The grateful bird led Clara across the bridge, and as she reached the other side, the bridge steadied and became solid, allowing her to continue. Task 2, the Forest of Shadows. The second task led Clara into the Forest of Shadows, a place where darkness seemed to cling to every tree and path. The forest was said to be haunted by illusions and fears. Clara ventured in, her heart pounding as the shadows danced around her. In the midst of the forest, she encountered a giant, shadowy beast that blocked her way. Though frightened, Clara remembered the stories of her mother, who had taught her about kindness and bravery. She approached the beast and spoke softly, acknowledging its pain and fear. The beast, revealed to be a misunderstood spirit, was moved by Clara's compassion. It allowed her to pass and gave her a glowing crystal as a token of its gratitude. Task 3, the Lake of Truth. The final task was to seek the Lake of Truth, where Clara would find an answer to her quest. The lake was shrouded in mist, and its waters were still and mysterious. Clara approached the lake and gently placed the glowing crystal into the water. As the crystal touched the surface, the lake shimmered and a figure emerged, a vision of her mother, smiling warmly. Clara's heart soared with hope as her mother spoke through the mist. "I am safe, dear Clara. I chose to leave to protect you and our village from an ancient danger. The willow tree's magic has guided you here to find me, and now it is time for you to be brave and lead our people." The vision faded, and Clara felt a sense of peace and purpose. She returned to the village with the knowledge that her mother was safe and that she had been chosen to protect Willow Glen. Elda greeted Clara with pride and handed her a branch from the ancient willow tree. "You have completed the tasks with honor and bravery. The magic of the willow is now yours to protect and share." Clara embraced her new role, using the magic of the willow to bring prosperity and harmony to Willow Glen. The village flourished, and the ancient willow continued to stand tall, its magic a symbol of courage, love, and the strength found within. And so, Clara's journey became a cherished tale, passed down through generations, a reminder that even in the darkest times, bravery and kindness could light the way. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Harmonia, music filled every corner of the land. From dawn till dusk, melodies danced through the air, and the people sang and played instruments that created the most beautiful symphonies. The source of this music was the legendary Melody Fountain, a magical spring said to be blessed by the muse of music. In a quiet village on the edge of Harmonia lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra was known for her incredible singing voice, which could make even the hardest heart soften. However, despite her talent, Lyra often felt that something was missing from her music. It was as if an essential note had been lost. One day, Lyra learned from an old storyteller that the Melody Fountain had begun to lose its magic. The songs that once flowed freely from it were now barely a whisper. the storyteller mentioned a long-forgotten song that was said to have the power to restore the fountain's magic, but the notes of the song had been lost to time. Determined to find the lost song and restore the melody fountain, Lyra set off on a journey through Harmonia. She began her quest by traveling to the great library of Harmonia, where the ancient scrolls and books held the secrets of the kingdom's music. The library was guarded by a wise old librarian named Alaric. To find the lost song, Alaric said, "You must first solve a riddle. I am not alive, yet I grow. I don't have lungs, yet I need air. I don't have a mouth, yet I need water. What am I?" Lyra thought carefully and answered, "A cloud." Alaric nodded approvingly and handed her an old, dusty book. This book contains fragments of the forgotten song. To piece it together, you must visit 3 magical places in Harmonia where the notes of the song were last heard. Lyra thanked Alaric and set off on her quest. Her first destination was the Whispering Woods, a place where the trees were said to hum with a melody when the wind blew through them. As she ventured into the woods, she encountered a talking squirrel named Nutmeg, who offered to help her. "The first part of the song is hidden in the heart of the woods," Nutmeg said. "To find it, you must answer this question. What has keys but cannot open locks, has space but no room, and you can enter but not go inside?" Lyra thought for a moment and answered, "A piano." Nutmeg led her to an ancient oak tree where, nestled among its roots, was a scroll with the first fragment of the song. Lyra carefully tucked it into her bag and thanked Nutmeg for the help. Next, Lyra traveled to the crystal caves, where the walls sparkled like diamonds and the echoes of footsteps created a mesmerizing harmony. She met a friendly bat named Echo who guided her through the caves. Echo told her that the second part of the song was hidden in the deepest part of the cave and would only be revealed by solving a riddle. "Listen carefully," Echo said, "and answer this. I am taken from a mine, and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released, and yet I am used by almost every person. What am I?" Lyra thought hard and answered, "A pencil." Echo led her to a hidden chamber where the second fragment of the song was engraved on a crystal tablet. Lyra took the fragment and thanked Echo for the guidance. Her final destination was the Meadow of Echoes, a field where every sound was mirrored back with a beautiful resonance. In the meadow, she encountered a graceful deer named Harmony, who helped her find the final fragment of the song. Harmony told her that the last piece was hidden beneath the oldest tree in the meadow. To find it, Harmony said, "You must solve this riddle. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Lyra answered, "A joke." Harmony led her to the old tree, where she found the final scroll with the last fragment of the song. With all 3 fragments in hand, Lyra returned to the melody fountain. Standing before the fountain, Lyra began to piece together the lost song from the fragments. As she sang the notes, the melody fountain responded with a beautiful, powerful magic that flowed through Harmonia. The notes of the song filled the air, and the fountain sparkled with renewed brilliance. The kingdom of Harmonia rejoiced as the magic of the melody fountain was restored, and music once again filled every corner of the land. Lyra's quest became a cherished legend, and she was celebrated for her bravery and determination in restoring the song that brought harmony and joy to all. And so, the kingdom of Harmonia thrived, its music a testament to the power of a pure heart and the magic of a lost song, and Lyra lived happily ever after, her music forever a part of the kingdom's enchanting melody. The tale of the silver moon. Once upon a time, in a land where the sky kissed the earth, there was a small kingdom known as Luminera. Luminera was a place of beauty and peace, surrounded by vast forests, shimmering lakes, and fields of golden grain. But what made Luminera truly special was its night sky. Every night, a magnificent silver moon would rise, casting its soft, luminous light over the kingdom. The people of Luminera believed that the moon was a blessing from the gods, a symbol of protection and prosperity. The kingdom was ruled by a wise and kind king named Eric. He was loved by his people, not only for his fairness but also for his deep connection to the moon. It was said that King Eric was born on the night of the brightest silver moon, and that he had a special bond with it. Every full moon, he would climb to the top of the tallest tower in his castle and offer a prayer of gratitude. One day, as the kingdom prepared for the upcoming full moon festival, something strange happened. The moon began to wane, its light growing dimmer with each passing night. The people of Luminara grew worried. They had never seen the moon lose its brilliance before, and they feared that the gods were angry with them. King Eric, too, was troubled. He consulted with his advisors and the kingdom's wisest sages, but no one could explain the moon's fading light. Determined to save his kingdom, the king decided to seek out the answer himself. He packed a small bag with provisions, took his sword, and set out on a journey to find the source of the moon's dimming. King Eric traveled far and wide, through dense forests and across raging rivers, until he came to the foot of a great mountain. It was the tallest mountain in the land, and it was said that at its peak lived an ancient and powerful sorceress named Seraphina, who possessed the knowledge of the stars and the heavens. The king climbed the mountain, enduring harsh winds and treacherous paths. After days of climbing, he finally reached the summit, where he found Seraphina's dwelling, a small, stone cottage surrounded by a garden of glowing flowers. Seraphina was expecting him. She was a graceful woman with silver hair that flowed like moonlight and eyes that sparkled like stars. "Welcome, King Eric," she said in a voice that was both soft and powerful. "I know why you have come." "Please, wise Seraphina," King Eric pleaded. "Tell me why the moon is losing its light. My people are afraid, and I fear that our kingdom will suffer if the moon's light fades completely." Seraphina looked up at the sky, her expression solemn. "The moon is not just a celestial body, King Eric. It is a living entity, and like all living things, it has a heart. The heart of the moon is a crystal, hidden deep within its core, and it is this crystal that gives the moon its light. But something has disturbed the crystal, causing it to lose its power." "What has disturbed it?" the king asked. Seraphina sighed. "The heart of the moon is connected to the hearts of the people of Luminara. Their love, their kindness, their gratitude, these are what fuel the moon's light. But lately, the people have grown complacent. They have taken the moon's light for granted, forgetting to cherish it, forgetting to give thanks. This neglect has weakened the crystal." King Eric was filled with sorrow. "What can I do to restore the moon's light?" Seraphina placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You must journey to the moon itself and heal the crystal. But the path is not easy. You will need the silver key, an ancient artifact hidden in the heart of the enchanted forest. The key will open the gateway to the moon, but only someone with a pure heart can wield it." The king thanked Seraphina and immediately set out for the enchanted forest. The forest was a mystical place, filled with magical creatures and hidden dangers. But King Eric was brave and determined. He journeyed through the forest, facing many trials that tested his courage, wisdom, and kindness. At last, he reached the center of the forest, where a giant oak tree stood. The silver key was said to be hidden within the tree. As he approached, the tree spoke in a deep, ancient voice, "Only one with a pure heart may take the key. If your heart is true, you may reach inside." King Eric, with a heart full of love for his people and determination to save the moon, reached into the tree. His hand closed around a cool, metallic object, and when he withdrew it, he held the silver key, an ornate key that shimmered with a light as bright as the moon. With the key in hand, King Eric traveled to the highest peak in the land, where the gateway to the moon was said to be. He inserted the key into a hidden lock in the mountain's rock, and a portal of light appeared before him. The king stepped through the portal and found himself on the moon. It was a barren, cold place, but in the distance, he saw a dim light flickering. He followed the light until he reached a cave, and inside the cave, he found the heart of the moon, a large crystal, once bright and vibrant, now dull and cracked. King Eric approached the crystal and placed his hands upon it. He closed his eyes and thought of his kingdom, of the people he loved, and of the light that had always guided them. He poured all his love and gratitude into the crystal, and slowly, it began to heal. The crack sealed, and the light grew stronger and stronger until the entire moon was bathed in its radiant glow. The king opened his eyes and smiled, knowing that the moon's light had been restored. The portal reappeared, and he returned to Luminara. When he arrived, the full moon was rising, brighter and more beautiful than ever before. The people of Luminera rejoiced, and from that day on, they never forgot to give thanks for the moon's light. King Eric continued to rule with wisdom and kindness, and the kingdom prospered for many generations. And so, the silver moon continued to shine brightly over Luminera, a symbol of the enduring bond between the heavens and the earth, and a reminder that even in the darkest times, the light of love and gratitude can guide the way. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and lush meadows, there was a magical garden that was only visible under the light of the full moon. This garden, known as the Moonlit Garden, was said to hold rare and wondrous flowers that bloomed with a silvery glow and could grant one heartfelt wish to anyone who discovered it. In this village lived a young woman named Elara. Elara was known for her love of nature and her talent for growing beautiful plants. Her small garden was the pride of the village, filled with vibrant blooms and fragrant herbs. However, despite her skills and her deep connection with nature, Elara often wished for something more, a way to bring even greater joy and magic to her village. One evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Elara remembered the tales she had heard about the moonlit garden. Driven by a sense of wonder and a desire to make a difference, she decided to seek out the garden. Armed with a lantern and a small pouch of supplies, she set out on her quest. Elara walked through the village and into the nearby woods, guided by the soft light of the moon. The forest was calm and serene, with the moon casting a silvery glow through the trees. She followed the whispers of the night breeze and the distant, melodic song of nightingales. As she ventured deeper into the forest, she felt a gentle pull, as if the moon itself was guiding her. After a long journey, Elara arrived at a hidden glade bathed in moonlight. The glade was filled with an ethereal beauty. Flowers of every color glowed softly, their petals shimmering like silver threads. In the center of the garden stood an ancient, grand tree with branches that sparkled like stars. Elara knew she had found the moonlit garden. As she approached the tree, a delicate fairy emerged from its branches. The fairy had iridescent wings and a warm, welcoming smile. "Welcome, Elara," the fairy said. "To make a wish, you must first understand the true nature of the moonlit garden. There are 3 magical flowers in this garden, each representing a different aspect of the heart. You must choose one and show its virtue." Elara looked around and saw 3 distinct flowers. 1, the flower of joy. It was a bright yellow bloom with petals that sparkled like sunlight. 2, the flower of hope. It was a deep blue with petals that shimmered like a starry sky. 3, the flower of kindness. It was a gentle pink with petals that glowed softly like the first light of dawn. The fairy continued, "To choose wisely, you must consider what is most needed in your heart and your village." Elara thought deeply. She knew that her village had been struggling with various hardships, and what they needed most was a sense of hope and unity. With that in mind, she chose the flower of hope. The flower's petals glowed even brighter as she picked it. The fairy nodded approvingly. "You have chosen well. Now, you must perform an act of selflessness to show the true nature of hope." Elara thought about the people in her village and decided to use the magic of the flower to help them. She returned to the village and, with the flower in hand, she created a beautiful display in the village square. She arranged the flower in the center, surrounded by candles and lanterns, and invited everyone to come and experience the magic. As the villagers gathered around the display, the flower of hope began to emit a soft, comforting light that filled the square with a warm, soothing glow. The villagers felt their spirits lift, and a sense of renewed hope spread through the community. They shared stories, laughter, and support, finding comfort and strength in one another. Elara's act of selflessness and the magic of the moonlit garden brought a new sense of unity and optimism to the village. The villagers were inspired to work together, supporting each other through their difficulties and celebrating their successes. The moonlit garden's magic continued to inspire Elara and the villagers. They often looked to the night sky and remembered the beauty and wonder of the garden. Elara's choice of the flower of hope became a symbol of the village's resilience and their ability to find light even in the darkest of times. And so, the village thrived, filled with joy, hope, and kindness. the moonlit garden remained a cherished legend, a reminder that true magic lies in the heart and the ways in which we care for one another. Once upon a time, in a quaint seaside village, there lived a young girl named Lila who loved to explore the shore. The village, known for its vibrant colors and warm-hearted people, was nestled between a lush green forest and a sparkling blue sea. One day, while wandering along the beach, Lila discovered a shimmering starfish half buried in the sand. It sparkled in hues of gold and silver, unlike any starfish she had ever seen. Curious, she picked it up, and as she did, the starfish began to glow brightly. "Thank you for finding me," a soft, melodic voice spoke from the starfish. Lila nearly dropped it in surprise, but the voice continued, "I am Stardust, an enchanted starfish from the depths of the ocean. Long ago, a sea witch cast a spell on me, trapping me here. I can grant you one wish in return for freeing me." Lila's eyes widened with wonder. She had always wished for an adventure beyond her village. She thought for a moment and then said, "I wish to see what lies beyond the horizon and to have an adventure like never before." With a flash of light, Stardust transformed into a magical boat with golden sails. "Climb aboard," the voice instructed, "and your adventure will begin." Excited, Lila climbed into the boat. As soon as she sat down, the boat began to glide smoothly over the water, leaving behind a trail of sparkling waves. The sea was calm, and the sky was painted with the soft colors of sunset. As the boat sailed farther from the shore, Lila saw wonders she had never imagined. The ocean was teeming with colorful fish that danced in the water, and dolphins leaped gracefully alongside the boat. At night, the boat floated under a sky filled with dazzling stars that seemed to touch the water. After a few days at sea, the boat arrived at a hidden island. The island was covered in lush, exotic plants, and a waterfall cascaded into a crystal-clear pool. Lila disembarked and explored the island. She found a grove of ancient trees whose leaves sparkled like emeralds and a cave with walls covered in glistening gems. As Lila ventured deeper into the cave, she discovered a glowing chest. Inside the chest were several magical items, a golden compass, a cloak of invisibility, and a book of ancient spells. The compass pointed not just north but toward the heart of every adventure. Just as Lila was about to examine the book, she heard a rustling sound. Out of the shadows emerged a friendly, talking parrot named Captain Featherbeak. "Ahoy, there," squawked the parrot. "I see you found the treasures of the Island of Wonders. I've been guarding them for centuries. What brings you here?" Lila explained her wish for adventure and how Stardust had helped her. Captain Featherbeak nodded thoughtfully. "You've proven yourself to be brave and kind. These treasures are meant for those with a true spirit of adventure." Captain Featherbeak then shared stories of the island's magic and the sea's secrets. He spoke of hidden treasures and mystical creatures, and even offered to accompany Lila on her journey to explore more of the world. Lila and Captain Featherbeak set off together, using the magical compass to guide their way. They encountered magnificent sea creatures, explored forgotten shipwrecks, and even helped a mermaid retrieve a stolen pearl from a mischievous sea serpent. Their adventures were filled with challenges, but also with laughter and friendship. With each new journey, Lila learned more about bravery, kindness, and the magic that exists in every corner of the world. Eventually, the magical boat brought Lila back to her village. The people welcomed her with open arms, amazed by the tales of her travels. Lila kept the treasures as reminders of her grand adventure and continued to explore, always guided by the golden compass. As for Stardust, the starfish returned to the ocean depths, forever grateful to Lila for setting him free. The enchanting adventures lived on in Lila's heart, and she knew that the world was full of magic just waiting to be discovered. And so, Lila's story became a legend in her village, inspiring others to seek their own adventures and to believe in the wonders of the world. And whenever she looked at the stars, she remembered the enchanted starfish that had made her dreams come true. Once upon a time, in a picturesque village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, lived a young musician named Fiona. Fiona was known throughout the village for her extraordinary talent with the violin. Her melodies could bring tears of joy, soothe troubled hearts, and even make the flowers sway in rhythm. But despite her gift, Fiona felt a deep yearning for something more. She longed to uncover the true magic of her music. One day, as Fiona played her violin by the riverbank, an old traveler approached her. He was dressed in a cloak of midnight blue, and his eyes sparkled with the light of hidden stars. He introduced himself as Elric, a wandering minstrel who had heard of Fiona's remarkable talent. "I've heard your music," Elric said with a knowing smile, "and I believe you are ready to discover the true magic of your violin. There is an ancient legend about an enchanted violin that holds the power to bring dreams to life. It is said to be hidden in a secret grove, only revealed to those with a heart full of music and wonder." Fiona's eyes widened with excitement. "Where can I find this enchanted violin?" Elric handed Fiona a small, intricately carved box. "Inside this box is a map to the secret grove. Follow its path with courage and an open heart, and you will find what you seek." Grateful and eager, Fiona set out on her journey the very next morning. The map led her through dense forests, over sparkling streams, and up gentle hills. Along the way, she encountered various creatures: an old turtle who shared a piece of wisdom, a family of rabbits who offered her a warm meal, and a wise owl who provided directions. As Fiona ventured deeper into the forest, she came across a magnificent grove bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. The grove was filled with vibrant flowers, and the air was filled with a soft, harmonious hum. At the center of the grove stood a grand, ancient tree with branches that reached towards the sky. Beneath the tree, Fiona found an ornate pedestal with a velvet cushion on top. Resting on the cushion was a violin unlike any she had ever seen. Its body was adorned with intricate patterns that seemed to shimmer and shift in the light, and its strings sparkled like stardust. With trembling hands, Fiona picked up the enchanted violin and began to play. As she drew the bow across the strings, the music that flowed was unlike anything she had ever created. The melodies were ethereal and otherworldly, carrying a sense of profound magic and wonder. As she played, the grove came alive with enchantment. The flowers danced in rhythm with the music, and the trees swayed as if whispering ancient secrets. A gentle breeze carried the music far and wide, reaching every corner of the land. Fiona's melodies seemed to touch the hearts of everyone who heard them, bringing joy and peace to all. The enchanted violin had not only amplified Fiona's gift but also revealed the true magic of her music, the power to bring dreams and emotions to life. Fiona played with all her heart, using the violin's magic to heal and inspire those around her. When Fiona returned to her village, the people were amazed by the transformation in her music. Her performances became legendary, and the village thrived with newfound happiness and harmony. The enchanted violin had unlocked a deeper connection between Fiona and her music, allowing her to share its magic with others in a way that she had always dreamed of. Elric, the old traveler, appeared once more to congratulate Fiona. "You have discovered the true magic of your gift," he said. "The enchantment was always within you. The violin simply helped to reveal it." Fiona thanked Elric and continued to play her violin, now with an even greater sense of purpose and joy. Her music became a cherished part of the village's life, and the story of the enchanted violin was passed down through generations as a tale of wonder and inspiration. And so, Fiona lived a life filled with magical melodies and the happiness of sharing her gift with the world. The enchanted violin remained a treasured symbol of the extraordinary magic that lies within each of us, waiting to be discovered and shared with love. The end. The Whispering Willow. Once upon a time, in a tranquil valley surrounded by rolling hills and sparkling streams, there was a magical village named Elmswood. The village was known for its stunning landscapes and the enchanted Whispering Willow, a grand tree that stood at the center of the village square. The Whispering Willow was famous for its ability to grant one wish each year during the harvest moon, a time when the moon was full and glowing with silver light. In Elmswood lived a gentle boy named Finn. Finn was known for his compassion and his love for animals. He spent his days helping the villagers with their chores and caring for the creatures of the forest. Despite his kindness, Finn's family struggled. His parents were elderly and their farm had fallen into disrepair. Finn wished more than anything for his family to have enough food and to restore their farm. the night of the harvest moon. As the harvest moon approached, the village of Elmswood buzzed with excitement. The Whispering Willow was adorned with twinkling lanterns and garlands of autumn leaves. The villagers gathered around the tree, each hoping for a chance to make their wish under the moon's magical glow. Finn, who had always admired the Whispering Willow from afar, felt a deep longing in his heart. He knew that the tree's magic could make a difference for his family, so he decided to visit the tree during the harvest moon. On the night of the full moon, Finn quietly made his way to the village square. He carried a small bundle of apples and a loaf of bread as a token of gratitude for the tree's magic, believing that kindness should be rewarded. Meeting the Whispering Willow. As Finn approached the Whispering Willow, he was struck by its majestic beauty. The tree's branches swayed gently in the moonlight, and a soft whispering sound filled the air. Finn took a deep breath and spoke softly, "Great Whispering Willow, I wish for my family to have enough food and for our farm to be restored." The Whispering Willow's leaves rustled as if it were contemplating Finn's wish. A shimmering light began to emanate from the tree, enveloping Finn in a warm, soothing glow. A gentle voice, like the rustling of leaves, spoke, "Your heart is pure, and your intentions are kind. Your wish shall be granted, but remember that true magic lies in selflessness and the bonds you share with those you love." The magic unfolds. The next morning, Finn returned to his family's farm and was greeted by a miraculous sight. The farm had been magically restored, the fields were lush and green, the barn was repaired, and the animals were well fed. There was even a bountiful harvest of fruits and vegetables. Finn's parents were overjoyed and amazed. They hugged Finn tightly, grateful for the miraculous change. Finn shared the apples and bread he had brought with the villagers, ensuring that everyone had enough to eat. His act of sharing made the village even more united and joyful. The villagers celebrated the harvest moon with a grand feast, where Finn was honored for his selflessness and bravery. The Whispering Willow's magic had not only transformed Finn's family's fortunes but had also brought the entire village closer together. The legacy of the Whispering Willow. Years later, Elmswood continued to thrive, and the Whispering Willow remained a symbol of hope and generosity. The tale of Finn and the Whispering Willow was passed down through generations, teaching the villagers the importance of kindness and the magic that lies within a generous heart. Finn grew up to be a beloved figure in Elmswood, known for his wisdom and his dedication to helping others. The Whispering Willow continued to grant its wish each year, reminding everyone that true magic comes from the love and selflessness we show to one another. And so, Elmswood remained a land of harmony and prosperity, forever blessed by the magic of the Whispering Willow in the heart of one extraordinary young boy. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the mountains and across the shimmering sea, there was a forgotten kingdom named Eärendil. Eärendil had once been a place of great beauty and joy, where the sun shone warmly on the fields, and the rivers sparkled with crystal-clear water. But over the years, the kingdom had fallen into ruin. The sky had turned gray, the rivers had dried up, and the once happy people had become sad and weary. No one knew why this had happened, but they spoke of a curse that had befallen the land. In a small, hidden village at the edge of Eärendil lived a young girl named Maren. Maren was different from the other villagers. While they had given up hope, she believed that the kingdom could be restored. She had heard whispers of an ancient prophecy that spoke of a hero who would break the curse and bring Eärendil back to life. The prophecy told of the Heart of the Sun, a magical gem hidden deep within the Cavern of Echoes, said to have the power to restore the kingdom. One day, as Maren walked through the forest near her village, she came across an old, weathered book half buried beneath the roots of a tree. The book was filled with stories of Eärendil's past and mentioned the Heart of the Sun. It also contained a map showing the way to the Cavern of Echoes. Determined to save her kingdom, Maren decided to set out on a journey to find the Heart of the Sun. Her loyal companion, a small and clever squirrel named Pippin, insisted on joining her. Together, they packed a small bag of supplies and set off on their adventure, guided by the map and Maren's unwavering belief in the prophecy. Their journey took them through the Forest of Whispers, where the trees seemed to speak in hushed tones. The first challenge they faced was the Bridge of Mists. This bridge spanned a deep chasm and was shrouded in thick mist, making it impossible to see the other side. To cross, Maren needed to have faith in her heart and trust in the path ahead. With Pippin by her side, Maren stepped onto the bridge. Each step was filled with uncertainty, but she kept moving forward, holding tightly to her belief that she would find the heart of the sun. Slowly, the mist began to clear, and they made it safely across. Next, they reached the Valley of Shadows, a dark and eerie place where the shadows seemed to come to life. The valley was guarded by a mysterious figure, the Shadow Keeper, who asked Maren a riddle. "I am always hungry, I must always be fed. The finger I touch will soon turn red. What am I?" Maren thought carefully and then answered, "Fire." The Shadow Keeper nodded and allowed them to pass, revealing the entrance to the Cavern of Echoes. The Cavern of Echoes was a vast, underground chamber filled with glistening crystals that reflected the faintest light. Every sound they made echoed through the cavern, creating a symphony of whispers and songs. At the center of the cavern, surrounded by a shimmering pool of water, was the heart of the sun. The gem was golden and warm, glowing with the light of 1,000 sunsets. But as Maren reached out to take the heart of the sun, a deep voice echoed through the cavern. It was the voice of the ancient guardian of the gem, a wise and powerful dragon named Solara. "Why do you seek the heart of the sun?" Solara asked, her voice gentle but commanding. Maren stepped forward, her voice steady. "I seek it not for myself, but for my kingdom. Eärendil has fallen into ruin, and the people have lost all hope. I believe that the heart of the sun can restore the land and bring back the light." Solara regarded Maren with wise, golden eyes. "The heart of the sun is powerful, but it is not the gem alone that can restore Eärendil. It is the courage, hope, and love in the heart of those who seek it. Do you have these within you?" Without hesitation, Maren nodded. "Yes, I do. I love my kingdom, and I will do anything to save it." Moved by her sincerity, Solara lowered her head, allowing Maren to take the heart of the sun. As she did, the cavern filled with a brilliant, golden light, and the echoes transformed into a melody of hope. Maren and Pippin made their way back to Eärendil, carrying the heart of the sun with them. As they entered the kingdom, the sky began to clear, and the rivers began to flow once more. The land that had been barren and gray was now lush and green, filled with the colors of flowers and the songs of birds. The people of Eärendil emerged from their homes, their faces filled with joy and wonder as they witnessed the miraculous transformation. With the heart of the sun placed in the center of the kingdom, its light spread throughout the land, lifting the curse and restoring Eärendil to its former glory. The people rejoiced, and Maren was celebrated as the hero who had saved the kingdom. But she knew that it was not just the gem that had brought about this change, it was the love, courage, and hope that had guided her on her journey. And so, Eärendil flourished once more, a kingdom bathed in the warm, golden light of the heart of the sun. The tale of Maren and her brave quest was passed down through generations, a reminder that even in the darkest times, hope and love can bring light to the world. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where the stars kissed the earth and the moon bathed the world in its gentle glow, there was a kingdom known as Luminera. This kingdom was ruled by a wise and kind king named Orion and his equally wise queen, Selene. They had a daughter named Luna, who was as radiant and enchanting as the moon itself. Luna was adored by all in the kingdom. She had a gift unlike any other: she could communicate with the stars. Every night, she would sit by her window and whisper to them, and they would twinkle back, sharing their ancient secrets and wisdom. Her parents and the people of Luminera cherished her for her kind heart and her ability to bring light and hope to everyone around her. However, not all was peaceful in Luminera. A dark sorcerer named Morbius envied the kingdom's happiness and Luna's unique gift. He lived in the Shadowlands, a desolate place where no light could penetrate, and plotted to steal Luna's powers for himself. He believed that with her abilities, he could control the stars and plunge the world into eternal darkness. One fateful night, Morbius cast a powerful spell that enveloped the kingdom in a thick, impenetrable fog. He kidnapped Luna, taking her to his lair in the Shadowlands. The kingdom fell into despair, and the stars dimmed, mourning the loss of their beloved princess. King Orion and Queen Selene were heartbroken, but they did not lose hope. They called upon the bravest knight in the kingdom, Sir Arion, to rescue their daughter. Sir Arion was known for his valor and unwavering courage. With a heavy heart but a determined spirit, he set off on his quest, guided only by the faint light of the stars that still shone for Luna. As Sir Arion journeyed through treacherous forests and over perilous mountains, he encountered various magical creatures. A wise old owl named Athena offered him guidance, a mischievous fox named Vixen provided clever tricks to evade traps, and a gentle deer named Elara gave him strength and healing herbs. Each creature, touched by Luna's kindness in the past, was eager to help in her rescue. After days of arduous travel, Sir Arion finally reached the Shadowlands. The darkness was suffocating, but he pressed on, driven by the thought of Luna's light. He found Morbius's lair, a towering fortress of black stone, surrounded by swirling shadows. Inside, Luna was trapped in a crystal cage, her light fading. Morbius stood over her, chanting a spell to drain her powers. Sir Arion knew he had to act quickly. He took a deep breath and called upon the gifts from the magical creatures, Athena's wisdom, Vixen's cunning, and Elara's strength. With their help, he managed to outwit Morbius's guards and confront the dark sorcerer. A fierce battle ensued. Morbius's dark magic clashed with Sir Arion's bravery. Just when it seemed all hope was lost, Luna mustered her remaining strength and called out to the stars. They responded with a burst of light so brilliant it shattered her crystal cage and blinded Morbius. Seizing the opportunity, Sir Arion struck the sorcerer with his sword, breaking his dark spell. With Morbius defeated, the shadows dissipated, and Luna's light returned, brighter than ever. She and Sir Arion made their way back to Luminera, where they were welcomed with tears of joy and relief. The stars shone brightly once more, celebrating the return of their beloved princess. King Orion and Queen Selene embraced their daughter, grateful for her safe return and the bravery of Sir Arion. Luna's gift had not only saved her kingdom but had also forged unbreakable bonds of friendship and loyalty. From that day forward, Luminera flourished under the gentle light of the Moonlight Princess. Luna continued to communicate with the stars, sharing their wisdom and guiding her people with compassion and grace. Sir Arion was hailed as a hero and became Luna's closest advisor and friend. And so, under the eternal glow of the moon and stars, the kingdom of Luminera lived in peace and harmony, forever grateful for the light and love that Luna brought into their lives. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in the heart of a kingdom known as Lumaria, there was a quaint village called Glimmering Grove. This village was famous for its beautiful lantern festival held every year to celebrate the magic of light and hope. The most cherished lantern of all was the Lantern of Everlight, said to possess the power to bring lasting happiness and harmony to the land. Each year, the lantern was placed at the top of the tallest tower in the village and lit by the first light of dawn. But one year, as the festival approached, the lantern mysteriously disappeared. The villagers were worried, for they believed that without the Lantern of Everlight, the festival would be incomplete, and their happiness would fade. In Glimmering Grove lived a brave and kind-hearted girl named Lily. She loved the Lantern Festival more than anything and couldn't bear the thought of the village being without its light. Determined to find the missing lantern, Lily decided to embark on a quest. Early one morning, with a small pack of supplies and her loyal cat, Whiskers, by her side, Lily set off in search of the Lantern of Everlight. She followed the clues she could find in old village tales, which led her to the enchanted forest at the edge of the kingdom. The enchanted forest was known for its magical creatures and mysterious happenings. As Lily ventured deeper, she came across a talking squirrel named Nutmeg. "Hello, brave one," Nutmeg chirped. "I've heard of your quest. The Lantern of Everlight was taken by the Shadow Weaver, a mischievous sprite who dwells in the misty glade. To retrieve it, you must pass through 3 challenges." With Nutmeg's guidance, Lily and Whiskers made their way to the misty glade. The first challenge they faced was the Bridge of Whispers, a delicate bridge made of shimmering threads that sang soft, eerie tunes. "You must cross the bridge while listening to its song," Nutmeg instructed. "The tune will guide you." As Lily and Whiskers stepped onto the bridge, the song became a melody of hope and courage. With each step, Lily focused on the soothing music, which led them safely across. The second challenge was the puzzle of the star stones. A circle of glowing stones surrounded an ancient tree, and Lily needed to arrange them in the correct order to reveal the path forward. The stones seemed to shift and move, but Lily remembered the stories of the Lantern Festival and how each lantern represented a star in the sky. She arranged the stones to mimic the constellation of the Lantern of Everlight. The stones glowed warmly, and a hidden path opened before them. Finally, they reached the lair of the Shadow Weaver. The sprite was a small, shadowy figure with a mischievous grin. He held the Lantern of Everlight and seemed to revel in its light. "You want the lantern back?" the Shadow Weaver teased. "To earn it, you must answer a riddle." With a deep breath, Lily nodded. The Shadow Weaver's riddle was, "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Lily thought carefully and then replied, "A joke." The Shadow Weaver's eyes widened in surprise, and he burst into a fit of laughter. "You've answered correctly. The lantern is yours." The Shadow Weaver handed over the Lantern of Everlight, and as Lily took it, the dark mist surrounding his lair began to dissipate. The sprite, now freed from his shadowy form, smiled gratefully. "You have restored the light and brought balance back to the enchanted forest," the Shadow Weaver said. "Thank you for your bravery and kindness." Lily and Whiskers returned to Glimmering Grove with the lantern. The villagers rejoiced at its return, and the festival was more magical than ever. The Lantern of Everlight was placed atop the tower and lit as the first light of dawn touched its surface. Its glow filled the village with warmth and joy. The festival was a grand success, and the light of the lantern shone brightly for many years, symbolizing hope, courage, and the power of kindness. Lily's bravery was celebrated, and her story was passed down through generations as a reminder that even the smallest light can shine brightly in the darkest times. And so, Lily, Whiskers, and the people of Glimmering Grove lived happily ever after, always guided by the light of the Lantern of Everlight. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a land where twilight reigned and the sky was always a canvas of soft, shimmering colors, there was a peaceful kingdom named Luminera. The kingdom was known for its magnificent stars, which sparkled like diamonds in the night sky. Every evening, the people of Luminera would gather to marvel at the stars' beauty, for it was said that the stars were guided by a magical artifact called the Lantern of the Lost Stars. The lantern was a beautiful, ornate lamp that hung in the highest tower of the royal castle. It was said to be crafted by the ancient stargazers and had the power to keep the stars bright and clear. However, one day, the lantern's light began to fade, and the once brilliant stars dimmed to mere pinpricks of light. The kingdom's joy and prosperity seemed to diminish along with the stars, and the people grew increasingly worried. The wise King Orion, ruler of Luminera, knew that the only way to restore the star's brilliance was to find the lantern's missing star crystal. He declared that anyone who could bring back the crystal and restore the lantern's light would be honored beyond measure. Many tried, but none succeeded. In a humble cottage at the edge of the kingdom lived a young girl named Lyra. Lyra had a kind heart and a deep love for the stars. Hearing about the lantern's plight, she felt a calling to embark on a quest to find the missing star crystal and restore the light to her beloved kingdom. The first challenge, the Whispering Forest. Lyra's journey began in the Whispering Forest, a dense and magical woodland where the trees whispered ancient secrets and tales. As she ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered a wise old owl perched on a low branch, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. To pass through the Whispering Forest, the owl said, "You must solve this riddle. I have cities but no houses, mountains but no trees, and water but no fish. What am I?" Lyra thought carefully and answered, "A map." The owl's eyes sparkled with approval, and it hooted happily. "Follow the path illuminated by the moonlight, and it will lead you to the next challenge." The second challenge, the River of Reflections. Lyra followed the moonlit path to the River of Reflections, a serene river with crystal-clear waters that mirrored the sky and the surrounding trees. The river was guarded by a graceful swan with feathers that sparkled like stardust. To cross this river, the swan said, "You must answer this question. What can be cracked, made, told, and played?" Lyra pondered the question and replied, "A joke." The swan's feathers glowed warmly, and it created a bridge of light across the river. Lyra crossed the river, feeling more determined and hopeful. The third challenge, the Cave of Echoes. On the other side of the river, Lyra entered the Cave of Echoes, a grand cavern filled with glowing crystals that reflected light in mesmerizing patterns. At the center of the cave stood an ancient door adorned with celestial symbols. A gentle voice echoed through the cavern. "To unlock this door and find the star crystal, you must reveal your true heart. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with pure intentions." Lyra took a deep breath and spoke from her heart, "My deepest wish is to restore the light of the lantern of the lost stars, so that my kingdom can once again be filled with joy and wonder." The cave's walls shimmered with a soft, golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing the starred crystal in a radiant glow. The revelation, restoring the lantern. With the star crystal in hand, Lyra made her way back to the royal castle. She carefully placed the crystal into the lantern of the lost stars, and as she did, the lantern burst forth with a brilliant, golden light. The stars in the sky shimmered brightly once more, casting their radiant glow over the kingdom of Luminera. The people of Luminera gathered in awe as the stars illuminated the night sky, their brilliance restored by the star crystal. The kingdom's joy and prosperity were rekindled. And King Orion praised Lyra for her bravery and selflessness. The tale of Lyra's quest became a cherished story in Luminera, a testament to the power of determination and the importance of a pure heart. Under the renewed light of the lantern, the kingdom thrived in harmony and wonder, forever grateful to the young girl who had restored their starry skies. The Lantern of Dreams. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom nestled between towering mountains and shimmering lakes, there was a charming village named Luminera. This village was famous for its breathtaking lantern festival, held each year on the eve of the winter solstice. The festival was renowned not only for its glowing lanterns that lit up the night sky but also for a magical lantern called the Lantern of Dreams. The Lantern of Dreams was said to have the power to make one heartfelt wish come true, but only to those who approached it with pure intentions and a generous heart. Every year, the lantern was displayed in the village square, waiting for the right person to make a wish. In this village lived a kind-hearted young girl named Mia. Mia was known throughout Luminera for her generosity and her beautiful songs that could soothe anyone's worries. Despite her kind nature, Mia's family struggled. Her father had lost his job as a blacksmith, and her mother was ill, leaving Mia to care for her younger brother and keep their small house in order. As the Lantern Festival approached, Mia hoped that if she could make a wish at the Lantern of Dreams, it might help her family overcome their difficulties. The festival begins on the night of the winter solstice. The village was alive with music and laughter. Lanterns of every shape and color floated gently into the night sky, creating a dazzling display of lights. In the center of the village square, the Lantern of Dreams stood proudly, its surface shimmering with a soft, golden glow. Mia watched from the sidelines, her heart full of hope. She had prepared a small basket of bread and apples, which she shared with the festival goers, ensuring that everyone had something to eat. She knew that helping others was important, and she hoped that her selfless acts would be rewarded. A chance encounter. As the night wore on, Mia found herself near the Lantern of Dreams. She was admiring its beauty when an elderly man approached her. He wore a cloak with silver thread and had a kind smile. He introduced himself as the keeper of the lantern. The keeper said, "To make a wish with the Lantern of Dreams, you must come with a heart full of kindness. Tell me, what do you wish for?" Mia hesitated, feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. She took a deep breath and said, "I wish for my family to be healed and for us to have enough to get by. But more than that, I wish for everyone in our village to find happiness and prosperity." The keeper's eyes sparkled with approval. "A noble wish indeed," he said. "Place your hands on the lantern and speak your wish aloud." The magic unfolds. Mia approached the Lantern of Dreams and gently placed her hands on its cool, golden surface. She closed her eyes and repeated her wish with all her heart. As she spoke, the lantern began to glow brighter, and a soft, melodic hum filled the air. The golden light from the lantern spread outwards, illuminating the entire village with a warm, comforting glow. As the light touched the village, Mia noticed something miraculous. The lantern's magic began to work, her family's home was repaired and became warm and welcoming. Her father received a new opportunity for work, and her mother's health began to improve. The village also flourished, the fields grew abundant, and the village's trades and crafts prospered. A heartfelt celebration. The villagers were amazed at the sudden turn of events and gathered to celebrate. They threw a grand feast in honor of Mia and the magic of the Lantern of Dreams. Mia's family was surrounded by joy and gratitude, and the entire village thrived as never before. Mia's selfless wish had not only transformed her own family's fortunes but had also brought prosperity to the entire village. Her kindness and generosity were celebrated, and her story became a cherished legend in Luminera. The legacy of the lantern. From that day on, the Lantern of Dreams was more than just a magical artifact, it became a symbol of hope and kindness. The festival continued to be a joyous occasion, reminding everyone of the power of selflessness and the magic that comes from a pure heart. And so, Luminera continued to shine brightly, forever blessed by the magic of the Lantern of Dreams in the heart of one extraordinary young girl. Once upon a time, in a serene village nestled in a valley surrounded by majestic mountains, there lived a young girl named Mira. Mira was known throughout the village for her boundless curiosity and her love for the night sky. Every evening, she would climb to the top of the highest hill to gaze at the stars, dreaming of the mysteries they held. Mira's grandmother, a wise woman of many stories, had often told her about the Star Whisperer, a legendary figure who could communicate with the stars and guide lost souls to their destinies. According to the tales, the Star Whisperer lived in a hidden realm far above the clouds, reachable only by those with a heart pure and true. One crisp autumn night, as Mira was stargazing, a shooting star streaked across the sky, leaving a trail of glittering stardust. Mira made a wish to find the Star Whisperer and uncover the secrets of the stars. Little did she know, her wish was about to set her on a magical journey. That very night, as Mira slept, she was visited by a glowing figure with wings like gossamer threads. The figure introduced itself as Lyra, a celestial guide. "Mira, your wish has been heard. The stars have chosen you to find the Star Whisperer. Follow the Stardust Trail and you shall find your way." With Lyra's guidance, Mira set off on her journey. The trail of stardust led her to a hidden grove illuminated by moonlight. In the center of the grove stood an ancient oak tree with branches that reached up like the arms of a giant. Hanging from its branches were lanterns made of star crystals, casting a soft, otherworldly glow. At the base of the tree was a wooden door adorned with intricate carvings of celestial symbols. Mira hesitated for a moment, then knocked gently. The door creaked open, revealing a spiral staircase that seemed to ascend into the heavens. Mira climbed the staircase, each step taking her higher into the sky. As she ascended, the air grew cooler and the stars seemed closer, their light becoming brighter and more vivid. Finally, she reached the top, where she found a breathtaking realm of floating islands and sparkling rivers made of light. At the center of this ethereal realm stood a grand observatory, where the Star Whisperer resided. The Star Whisperer, an elegant figure with a cloak made of twilight and eyes that shimmered like the night sky, welcomed Mira with a warm smile. "Welcome, Mira," the Star Whisperer said in a voice like a gentle breeze. "You have ventured far to seek me. What brings you to the realm of the stars?" Mira, awestruck but determined, replied, "I wish to learn the secrets of the stars and discover how I can use their wisdom to help my village." The Star Whisperer nodded thoughtfully. "The stars hold many secrets, but their greatest gift is the wisdom they impart. To gain their wisdom, you must first listen with an open heart." The Star Whisperer guided Mira to a celestial map that displayed the paths of the stars and their constellations. Each constellation represented a story and a lesson. The Star Whisperer explained that the stars could offer guidance and insight, but it was up to those who sought their wisdom to interpret their messages with clarity and compassion. Mira spent the night studying the celestial map and learning about the stories of the stars. She discovered that the stars spoke of harmony, courage, and the importance of following one's heart. The Star Whisperer also shared a special gift with Mira, a small, silver compass that would always point her in the direction of her true purpose. As dawn approached, the Star Whisperer bid Mira farewell. "Remember, Mira, the stars are always with you. Their light will guide you in times of doubt, and their stories will inspire you to lead with wisdom and kindness." With the compass in hand and a heart full of newfound wisdom, Mira descended the spiral staircase and returned to her village. The journey had transformed her, and she was eager to share her experience with her fellow villagers. Mira used the wisdom she had gained to help her village flourish. She encouraged her fellow villagers to look to the stars for inspiration and to work together with courage and compassion. The village thrived under Mira's guidance. And the one simple village became a beacon of hope and harmony. The story of Mira and the Star Whisperer became a cherished tale in the village, reminding everyone of the magic and wisdom that the stars held. Mira continued to climb the hill each night, gazing at the stars with gratitude and awe, knowing that the celestial guide was always watching over her. And so, under the starlit sky and with the guidance of the Star Whisperer, the village lived in harmony and prosperity, forever inspired by the stories of the stars and the bravery of a young girl who followed her heart. The tale of the Starlit Bridge. In a serene kingdom surrounded by rolling meadows and shimmering lakes, there was a quaint village known for its peace and prosperity. But there was one mystery that intrigued everyone: the Starlit Bridge, a majestic bridge that spanned the grand river dividing the kingdom. Legend had it that the bridge was built by a celestial being and had the power to grant a single wish to those who crossed it under the light of the full moon. The Starlit Bridge was always bathed in a soft, glowing light that made it look like it was made of stars. But no one had ever been able to make a wish come true, and over time, the bridge had become a symbol of hope rather than fulfillment. In this village lived a brave and kind-hearted young woman named Alara. She was known for her beautiful voice and her love for helping others. Despite the many hardships the villagers faced, Alara always maintained a hopeful spirit, believing that the magic of the Starlit Bridge could one day be real. One evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Alara decided it was time to see if the legend was true. She carefully prepared a small pouch with a token of each person in the village: a piece of thread from a grandmother's quilt, a button from a child's coat, a feather from a farmer's hat, each item representing the hopes and dreams of her fellow villagers. With the pouch in hand and a heart full of hope, Alara made her way to the Starlit Bridge. As she stepped onto the bridge, the soft, starry glow seemed to welcome her. She walked slowly, taking in the shimmering beauty of the bridge and the reflection of the moonlight on the river below. At the center of the bridge, Alara paused and took out the pouch. She closed her eyes and whispered her wish. "I wish for the well-being and happiness of my village. May their dreams come true and may they find the prosperity they deserve." As Alara finished her wish, the bridge's light grew brighter, and a gentle breeze carried the starry glow across the river. The water began to shimmer with a radiant light, and the stars in the sky seemed to dance in harmony with the moon's reflection. Suddenly, a figure appeared before her, a graceful being with shimmering wings and a gown made of stardust. It was the celestial guardian of the Starlit Bridge. The guardian smiled warmly at Alara. "Your wish has been heard, dear child," the guardian said with a voice as gentle as the night breeze. "You have given your heart selflessly for the sake of others. Because of your pure spirit, I will grant the wish you have made." The guardian reached out and touched the pouch of tokens. As she did, the items glowed with a magical light. The stars in the sky aligned to form a beautiful constellation that seemed to bless the village with a warm, golden light. "The magic of the Starlit Bridge is not just in the wishing but in the selflessness and love you have shown," the guardian continued. "Your village will soon find the happiness and prosperity they seek." With a wave of her hand, the celestial guardian faded into the night sky, leaving Alara with a heart full of joy and hope. As she walked back to the village, she saw the first signs of change. The fields were beginning to bloom with vibrant colors, the villagers were smiling and working together, and a sense of prosperity was in the air. Alara's wish had indeed come true. The village thrived, and the Starlit Bridge became a cherished symbol of the power of selflessness and hope. The villagers celebrated with a grand feast and a festival under the stars, honoring Alara's courage and the magic of the bridge. From that day on, the story of Alara and the Starlit Bridge was told and retold, reminding everyone that the true magic of the world lies in the kindness and love we share with others. And as the stars continued to shine brightly over the bridge, the village lived in harmony and happiness, forever touched by the enchanting tale of the Starlit Bridge. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the foot of a grand mountain, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Lily. Lily loved nature and spent most of her time tending to her garden, which was the most beautiful in the village. Her garden was filled with vibrant flowers, delicious fruits, and fragrant herbs. People from all around would come to admire her garden and seek her advice on growing plants. One sunny morning, as Lily was watering her flowers, she noticed something unusual. A tiny, shimmering light darted through her garden and disappeared into a patch of roses. Curious, Lily followed the light and carefully parted the rose bushes. To her astonishment, she found a tiny fairy with delicate wings, caught in the thorny branches. "Please help me," the fairy pleaded with a soft, melodic voice. "I got lost and tangled in these thorns." Lily gently freed the fairy and placed her on a soft petal. "Thank you, kind human," the fairy said. "I am Flora, the fairy of the enchanted garden. As a token of my gratitude, I will grant you one wish." Lily thought for a moment and replied, "I wish for my garden to be the most beautiful and magical place in the world, where all creatures can find peace and happiness." Flora smiled and waved her tiny wand. A sparkling light enveloped the garden, and Lily watched in awe as her garden transformed. The flowers grew larger and more vibrant, the fruits became juicier and sweeter, and the herbs emitted the most delightful fragrances. But the most incredible change was the appearance of magical creatures. Butterflies with wings like stained glass, hummingbirds that sang melodies, and even tiny unicorns now roamed the garden. News of the enchanted garden spread quickly, and soon, people from distant lands came to witness its beauty. The garden became a place of wonder and joy, where everyone felt a sense of peace and happiness. One day, a young prince named Henry arrived at the garden. He had heard tales of its magic and wanted to see it for himself. As he wandered through the garden, he met Lily and was immediately struck by her kindness and beauty. "Lily," Prince Henry said, "your garden is the most magnificent place I have ever seen. How did it come to be so magical?" Lily told him the story of Flora, the fairy of the enchanted garden, and her wish for a place where all creatures could find peace and happiness. Prince Henry was deeply moved by her selflessness. "Lily, your heart is as beautiful as your garden," he said. "Would you come with me to my kingdom and help make it as wonderful as this garden?" Lily agreed, and together, they traveled to Prince Henry's kingdom. With Flora's blessing, they transformed the kingdom into a land of beauty and magic, where everyone lived in harmony with nature. The enchanted garden continued to flourish, serving as a reminder of the power of kindness and selflessness. And so, Lily and Prince Henry ruled their kingdom with love and wisdom, and their story became a beloved fairy tale passed down through generations. The enchanted garden remained a place of wonder and joy, a testament to the magic that can be found in a kind heart and a wish for happiness for all. Once upon a time, in a serene kingdom bordered by silver mountains and emerald meadows, there was a hidden village named Luminera. Luminera was known for its beautiful orchards that produced the most delicious fruit in all the land. However, one orchard stood out above the rest, the Moonlit Orchard, a magical place where fruit glowed under the moonlight. The Moonlit Orchard was tended by an elderly gardener named Old Mervyn. He was a kind soul who had taken care of the orchard for as long as anyone could remember. It was said that the orchard was enchanted by the moon spirit, a mystical being who blessed the land with its radiance. The fruit from this orchard was not only delicious but also carried a bit of magic that brought joy and healing to those who tasted it. One year, however, the kingdom fell under a shadow of misfortune. A mysterious drought struck the land, causing crops to wither and rivers to dry up. The once lush orchards began to suffer, including the Moonlit Orchard. Old Mervyn, with a heavy heart, noticed that even the magical fruit no longer glowed with its usual brilliance. Desperate to save the orchard and his beloved village, old Mervyn sought the counsel of a wise old owl named Ilarion who lived in the tallest tree of the forest. Ilarion revealed that the moon spirit, who had always blessed the orchard, had gone into a deep slumber due to the imbalance in the land's magic. To awaken the moon spirit and restore the orchard's magic, someone with a pure heart must venture to the moonlit pool, a hidden glade deep within the forest where the moon spirit once bathed. There, they must perform a ritual to restore harmony and balance. Old Mervyn knew he was too old to undertake such a journey, so he turned to his granddaughter, a brave and kind-hearted girl named Luna. Luna loved the orchard dearly and was determined to help. With a small satchel of provisions and a heart full of hope, Luna set off on her quest. She followed Ilarion's directions through the forest, navigating by the light of the moon. The forest was both enchanting and daunting, with trees that seemed to whisper and paths that shifted like dreams. As Luna ventured deeper, she encountered 3 challenges that tested her resolve. 1. The enchanted mist. A thick mist swirled around her, making it hard to see and follow the path. She remembered her grandmother's stories about using her heart to guide her. Luna closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and let her heart guide her through the mist, emerging on the other side. 2. The riddle of the guardian. At the entrance to the moonlit pool, Luna faced a stone guardian who spoke in riddles. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? Luna thought for a moment and answered, a story. The guardian smiled and allowed her to pass. 3. The heart of the grove. To reach the moonlit pool, Luna had to cross a grove where the trees were enchanted to test her spirit. They asked her to demonstrate an act of kindness. Luna saw a small, injured fox and tended to its wounds with the herb she carried. The trees, moved by her compassion, parted to reveal the glade. Finally, Luna arrived at the moonlit pool. The pool was a tranquil, shimmering basin reflecting the moon's light. Luna approached it with reverence and gently placed a glowing silver fruit from the moonlit orchard into the water. She closed her eyes and whispered a heartfelt plea for the moon spirit to awaken and restore balance. The water began to sparkle, and a soft, radiant light emerged. The moon spirit, a graceful figure with a gown of moonbeams and eyes like twinkling stars, appeared from the pool. The moon spirit had been awakened by Luna's genuine wish and selfless act. Brave child, said the moon spirit, you have restored the harmony and balance. The orchard's magic will return, and so will the prosperity to your land. The moon spirit's light spread through the forest and the village. The drought ended, and the orchards began to flourish once more. The moonlit orchard glowed with renewed brilliance, and the fruit was more magical than ever. Luna returned to Luminera as a hero. The villagers celebrated her bravery and the restoration of their land. The moonlit orchard became a symbol of hope and renewal, and the village thrived under the light of the moon and the blessings of the moon spirit. And so, in the kingdom where magic and nature were intertwined, Luna and the people of Luminera lived happily ever after, forever guided by the gentle light of the moonlit orchard. In the heart of the lush green forest, where trees whispered ancient secrets and flowers sparkled like gemstones, there stood a quaint village called Willowbrook. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, and their lives were guided by a mysterious, magical mirror. This mirror, known as the Enchanted Mirror, was no ordinary looking glass. It was said to have been created by the ancient fairy Queen Lyra, and it possessed the power to reveal one's true self and grant wishes of the pure-hearted. For generations, the mirror had been the village's guardian, protecting it from harm and ensuring prosperity. One day, a curious girl named Ilara, with hair as dark as midnight and eyes like the deep blue sea, stumbled upon the mirror while exploring the forest. She had heard tales of the mirror's magic but had never seen it with her own eyes. As she gazed into its shimmering surface, she saw a reflection not of herself but of a young prince trapped in a distant castle. The prince, who appeared to be in great distress, was trying to reach out from the mirror, his eyes pleading for help. Ilara's heart ached for him, and without hesitation, she made a wish. I wish to help the prince, she whispered, her voice full of determination. The enchanted mirror glowed brightly, and a swirling vortex of light enveloped Elara. When the light faded, she found herself standing in a grand hall of a magnificent castle, surrounded by towering walls and opulent tapestries. The prince, whose name was Prince Rowan, stood before her, looking both relieved and astonished. "Thank you for coming," Prince Rowan said with a bow. "I have been trapped in this mirror by an evil sorceress named Morgana. She cast a spell on me because she was envious of the mirror's magic and wanted to use it for her own dark purposes." Elara listened intently as Prince Rowan explained that Morgana had hidden the mirror in a secret chamber, and the only way to break the spell was to find it and destroy the sorceress's dark magic. Determined to help, Elara and Prince Rowan embarked on a quest through the castle's enchanted halls. Along the way, they encountered talking animals, mischievous fairies, and riddles that tested their wit and bravery. Each challenge they overcame brought them closer to the mirror and the sorceress. After many trials, they reached the secret chamber where Morgana had hidden the mirror. The chamber was filled with dark shadows and eerie silence. Morgana, a tall and fearsome figure with eyes like molten gold, stood in the center, her staff crackling with dark magic. "You think you can thwart my plans?" Morgana sneered as Elara and Prince Rowan entered. "This mirror will be mine, and I will use its power to rule all the lands." Elara and Prince Rowan faced Morgana with courage. Using the knowledge and skills they had gained during their journey, they battled the sorceress. Elara, guided by her pure heart and the magic of the mirror, found the strength to counter Morgana's dark spells. With Prince Rowan by her side, they managed to break the sorceress's staff, shattering the dark magic that had trapped the prince. As Morgana's power dissipated, she vanished into the shadows, never to be seen again. The enchanted mirror, now free from dark influence, glowed with a warm, welcoming light. It revealed to Elara and Prince Rowan the path back to Willowbrook. Before they left, Prince Rowan took Elara's hand and thanked her for her bravery and kindness. "You have not only saved me but also restored the mirror's magic. You are a true hero." With a final wave of the mirror's magic, Elara and Prince Rowan returned to Willowbrook. The villagers welcomed them with open arms, celebrating their victory in the restoration of the enchanted mirror's power. The mirror, once again a beacon of hope and magic, continued to guard the village and guide those with pure hearts. As for Elara, she became a cherished legend in Willowbrook, known for her bravery and selflessness. And whenever the villagers looked into the enchanted mirror, they were reminded of the girl who had ventured into the unknown, faced her fears, and saved not just a prince, but an entire kingdom. And so, the story of Elara and the enchanted mirror was passed down through generations, a timeless tale of courage, magic, and the power of a kind heart. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a beautiful forest known as the Enchanted Forest. The trees there whispered secrets, and the flowers sang lullabies. The forest was protected by magical creatures who lived in harmony, ensuring no harm would come to their beloved home. In the heart of this kingdom stood a grand castle, where King Edmund and Queen Isabella ruled with kindness and wisdom. They had a daughter named Princess Lily, who was as curious as she was brave. Princess Lily loved to explore the enchanted forest, always accompanied by her loyal dog, Max. One day, while wandering deeper into the forest than ever before, Princess Lily and Max came across a shimmering pond. The water sparkled under the sunlight, and in the middle of the pond was a small island with a beautiful, glowing flower. Drawn to its beauty, Princess Lily decided to take a closer look. Just as she stepped onto the island, a sudden mist enveloped the area. When the mist cleared, Princess Lily found herself in a strange, unfamiliar part of the forest. She was lost. Max barked worriedly, and Princess Lily tried to calm him, though she herself felt a bit scared. As they wandered, trying to find their way back, they met a wise old owl named Oliver. "Who are you, young one?" asked Oliver. "I am Princess Lily," she replied. "I seem to be lost. Can you help me find my way back home?" Oliver's eyes twinkled kindly. "The forest has many paths, but not all lead where you wish to go. To find your way, you must seek the help of 3 guardians, the spirit of the trees, the guardian of the river, and the keeper of the stars. Princess Lily thanked Oliver and set off with Max to find the first guardian. They soon came to a grove of ancient trees. As they walked among them, the trees seemed to bend and move, guiding her. From behind the largest tree, a gentle voice spoke. "I am Silva, the spirit of the trees. Why do you seek me, princess?" Princess Lily explained her plight, and Silva smiled warmly. "To help you, I will give you a leaf that always points north. It will guide you through the forest. But remember, it can only show you the way, you must find your courage to follow it." With the magical leaf in hand, Princess Lily and Max continued their journey. They followed the leaf's direction until they reached a wide, flowing river. The water was clear and blue, and on its surface, tiny fish danced in the sunlight. By the riverbank, a graceful deer emerged from the trees. "I am Ril, the guardian of the river. How can I assist you, princess?" Again, Princess Lily shared her story. Ril dipped her head and said, "I will grant you a vial of enchanted water. It will give you strength and clarity when you need it most. But remember, true strength comes from within." Grateful for Ril's gift, Princess Lily and Max crossed the river and continued their quest. As night fell, the forest began to glow with the light of countless fireflies. They soon found themselves in a meadow under a sky filled with stars. In the center of the meadow stood a unicorn with a shimmering mane. "I am Astra, the keeper of the stars. Why have you come to me, princess?" Princess Lily told Astra of her journey and her wish to find her way back home. Astra's horn glowed brightly as she said, "I will give you a star to light your path. It will shine the brightest when you are near your goal. But remember, the light within you is what will truly guide you." With the star illuminating their way, Princess Lily and Max felt more hopeful. They continued through the forest, following the leaf's direction, drinking the enchanted water when they grew tired, and trusting the star's light. Finally, they emerged from the forest and saw the familiar towers of the castle in the distance. Overjoyed, Princess Lily and Max ran towards home. The king and queen, who had been worried sick, were overjoyed to see their daughter safe and sound. Princess Lily shared her adventure with her parents, telling them of the wise owl, the spirit of the trees, the guardian of the river, and the keeper of the stars. The king and queen praised her bravery and kindness, and the whole kingdom celebrated her return. From that day on, Princess Lily never forgot the lessons she learned in the enchanted forest. She became a wise and compassionate ruler, always guided by the courage and light within her. And so, the kingdom prospered, and the enchanted forest remained a place of magic and wonder for all to cherish. Once upon a time, in the serene kingdom of Eldoria, there was a village nestled in a lush valley surrounded by rolling hills and sparkling streams. The village was known for its breathtaking night skies, where stars seemed to twinkle more brightly than anywhere else in the realm. The villagers cherished their nightly stargazing sessions and shared tales of a legendary star that was said to grant a single wish to anyone who could find it. Among the villagers was a young boy named Finn, who had always dreamed of exploring beyond the valley and discovering the mysteries of the world. His heart longed for adventure, and he believed that if he could find the legendary star, he could fulfill his greatest wish, to bring hope and prosperity to his village. The night of the falling star. One crisp autumn night, as the village prepared for its annual star festival, a dazzling comet streaked across the sky. It was said to be a sign that the legendary star was near. Finn, with his heart brimming with determination, decided this was the perfect moment to embark on his quest. Armed with a map of constellations, a small lantern, and his trusty companion, a clever fox named Luna, Finn set off towards the mountains where the comet had fallen. The journey would be perilous, but Finn was undeterred. The Enchanted Forest. Finn and Luna trekked through the Enchanted Forest, a place known for its magical creatures and shimmering flora. The forest was alive with sounds, and the trees seemed to whisper secrets of the night. As they ventured deeper, they encountered a mischievous sprite named Pippin who blocked their path. Pippin challenged Finn to a test of wisdom. "To pass, you must solve my riddle," the sprite said with a twinkle in his eye. "What can fill a room without taking up space and can be seen but not touched?" Finn thought for a moment and replied, "Light." Pippin clapped his tiny hands and allowed them to continue, leading them to a hidden path illuminated by soft, glowing orbs. The path guided them safely out of the forest and towards their next destination, the Cavern of Echoes. The path led them to a dark cavern known as the Cavern of Echoes. The cavern was said to be guarded by an ancient dragon named Ember, who was known for her wisdom and fiery breath. Finn and Luna cautiously entered the cavern, where Ember awaited them. Ember's eyes glowed like molten gold as she spoke, "To find what you seek, you must show true bravery. Face your fears, and only then will you find the way." Finn took a deep breath and bravely entered the heart of the cavern, where shadows danced and eerie echoes filled the air. With Luna by his side, Finn confronted his deepest fear of the unknown. As he faced the darkness with unwavering resolve, a hidden passage revealed itself, leading them to a chamber where a beautiful crystal sat upon a pedestal. The crystal's secret. The crystal, bathed in a gentle blue light, was the heart of the cavern, and as Finn approached it, he heard a soft, melodious voice. "To continue, you must make a choice. The heart of the cavern will grant you one gift: courage, wisdom, or compassion. Choose wisely." Finn thought about his village and the struggles they faced. He chose compassion, believing that with compassion, he could bring understanding and hope to those in need. As soon as Finn made his choice, the crystal's light enveloped him and Luna, guiding them out of the cavern towards the peak of the mountain. There, beneath the twinkling night sky, they saw a magnificent sight: the star's revelation. At the mountain's peak, Finn saw the legendary star glowing brightly against the backdrop of the cosmos. It was even more beautiful than he had imagined, with a light that seemed to dance and shimmer with the rhythm of the universe. The star spoke to Finn in a voice like a gentle breeze. "You have shown great bravery, wisdom, and compassion. Your wish will be granted, but remember that true magic lies within the heart." Finn made his wish for his village. "I wish for the strength and hope for my people to overcome their struggles and find joy and prosperity." The star's light intensified, casting a radiant glow over the valley below. As Finn and Luna made their way back to the village, they saw that the valley was transformed. The land was lush and fertile, the stream sparkled with fresh water, and the village thrived with renewed energy and happiness. The return home. Finn returned to his village as a hero. The villagers celebrated the transformation, grateful for the prosperity and joy that had come to them. They honored Finn's bravery and the compassion that had guided him on his journey. The legend of the Star of Eldoria grew, and the tale of Finn's quest became a cherished story, reminding everyone that the true magic of a wish lies in the heart and the courage to seek it. As the years passed, Finn's village continued to flourish, and the star in the night sky became a symbol of hope for all who gazed upon it, a reminder that dreams and compassion could indeed light up even the darkest of nights. In a peaceful valley surrounded by majestic mountains, there lay a quaint village called Lumina. Lumina was known for its extraordinary beauty and its people who were gifted musicians. At the heart of the village lived a young girl named Alara, who was renowned for her enchanting singing voice. Each night, as the moon rose high in the sky, Alara's songs would drift through the village, bringing joy and serenity to all who heard them. One evening, as Alara sang under the moonlight, a strange thing happened. The moon began to flicker and dim, casting an eerie shadow over Lumina. The villagers gathered in the square, worried and confused. Without the moon's light, their music seemed to lose its magic, and a sense of sadness fell over the once cheerful village. The village elder, a wise woman named Celeste, approached Alara with a grave expression. "Alara, it seems that the moonlight melody, a mystical force that has always kept our village in harmony, has been disrupted. The only way to restore it is to find the moonlit crystal, which has been lost for centuries." Alara, with her heart full of determination, agreed to find the moonlit crystal. She knew that it was said to be hidden in the enchanted forest, a place known for its magical and mysterious qualities. Armed with her courage and a small silver flute that had been passed down through generations, she set off on her quest, accompanied by her loyal companion, a wise old owl named Orion. The enchanted forest was a place of wonder, where trees seemed to whisper secrets and flowers glowed with a soft light. As Alara and Orion ventured deeper into the forest, they encountered a mischievous sprite named Willow, who offered to guide them, but only if they could solve a riddle. Willow fluttered around them and chimed, "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Alara thought for a moment and replied, "An echo." Pleased with the answer, Willow agreed to lead them to the next part of their journey. They traveled through the forest, passing sparkling streams and towering trees, until they reached a grove where the moonlit crystal was said to be hidden. The moonlit grove in the center of the grove stood a magnificent tree with branches that seemed to touch the sky. At its base was a large, ancient stone with intricate carvings. According to legend, the moonlit crystal was hidden within the stone, but it could only be revealed by a pure heart and a harmonious melody. Alara took out her silver flute and began to play a soft, melodic tune. The notes floated through the grove, intertwining with the natural sounds of the forest. As she played, the carvings on the stone began to glow, and the stone itself started to shift and move. The moonlit crystal, a radiant gem that shimmered with the light of the moon, emerged from within the stone. Alara gently picked it up, feeling its warmth and magic. The return to Lumina with the moonlit crystal in hand, Alara and Orion made their way back to Lumina. As they approached the village, they noticed that the moonlight was still dim and the villagers were still forlorn. Alara placed the moonlit crystal in the center of the village square and began to play a melody on her flute, with the crystal's light amplifying the magic of her music. The crystal's glow grew brighter and brighter, and soon, the moon began to shine again, casting a beautiful, silvery light over the village. The villagers, seeing the moon's light return, gathered around Alara, their spirits lifted by the enchanting melody. As Alara sang, her voice blending with the magical light of the moonlit crystal, the village was filled with a sense of peace and joy. The music resonated with the hearts of the people, and the moonlight melody was restored to its full splendor. Queen Celeste approached Alara and thanked her for her bravery and her gift of music. She declared that Alara's song would be celebrated every year on the night of the full moon, to remind everyone of the harmony between the moon and the music that bound their village together. A lasting legacy. Alara continued to sing and play her flute, her melodies bringing joy and light to Lumina. The moonlit crystal was placed in a special alcove in the village square, where its light would always remind the villagers of the importance of harmony, both in music and in life. And so, under the moon's gentle glow and the magical music of Alara, the village of Lumina thrived once more. The moonlight shone brightly, and the melodies of the villagers filled the valley with happiness and peace. Alara's tale became a cherished story passed down through generations, a testament to the power of music, bravery, and the enduring magic of the moon. The end. Once upon a time, in the heart of a misty forest, there was a quaint village named Luminera. The village was known for its vibrant gardens and shimmering streams, but it had one unique treasure, a magical lantern that was said to light the way for anyone who was lost or in need. The lantern was housed in the village's oldest cottage, which belonged to an elderly woman named Grandma Esme. She was known throughout the land for her kindness and wisdom. The lantern was a family heirloom, passed down through generations, and its soft, golden glow was believed to have the power to reveal hidden truths and guide people through their darkest hours. One day, the village was visited by a young prince named Leo from the neighboring kingdom of Eldoria. He had heard tales of the enchanted lantern and was intrigued by its magic. The prince was on a quest to find a rare and precious flower known as the moon blossom, which only bloomed once every 100 years under the light of the full moon. The moon blossom had the power to cure his kingdom's ailing land. Grandma Esme welcomed Prince Leo warmly and listened to his tale. "The moon blossom is indeed a rare flower," she said, "and its blooming is a sight to behold. However, finding it requires more than just luck. It requires a heart that is pure and intentions that are true." The prince, determined to help his kingdom, asked Grandma Esme if she would lend him the enchanted lantern to aid in his quest. She agreed, but only if Leo promised to return it once his mission was complete, for the lantern held great significance to her family. With the lantern in hand, Prince Leo set out into the forest under the light of the full moon. The lantern's warm glow guided his path through the tangled woods and winding streams. As he ventured deeper, he encountered various challenges: swift rivers, steep cliffs, and dense thickets. Yet, the lantern's light always found a way to show him the safest path forward. During his journey, Leo came across a small, mysterious creature, a talking fox named Finn. Finn had a coat of shimmering silver and eyes that sparkled with curiosity. "Why are you traveling so far into the forest?" Finn asked. "I am searching for the moon blossom," Prince Leo explained. "It is said to bloom only under the full moon, and I need it to save my kingdom." Finn's eyes widened with understanding. "I know where the moon blossom blooms, but it's a dangerous path. The lantern's light will help you, but you must also have a brave heart and a clear mind." Grateful for Finn's help, Leo followed him through the forest. The two of them faced many trials, from crossing rickety bridges to outsmarting mischievous sprites. With the lantern's guidance and Finn's assistance, they finally reached a secluded glade bathed in moonlight. In the center of the glade was a majestic flower, the moon blossom. Its petals glowed with an ethereal light, and its fragrance filled the air with a sense of peace and hope. Prince Leo carefully collected the moon blossom and thanked Finn for his guidance. As he turned to leave, he noticed that the lantern's light was growing dim. The enchantment that had guided him was fading, and the path back seemed uncertain. Leo realized that he needed to return the lantern to Grandma Esme, as promised. With the moon blossom secured, Leo made his way back to the village. The journey was still challenging, but the memories of his adventure and his commitment to his kingdom's welfare kept him steady. Upon returning the lantern to Grandma Esme, he presented her with the moon blossom. "You have fulfilled your promise," Grandma Esme said, smiling. "And you have shown great courage and purity of heart. The lantern will continue to guide those in need, and the moon blossom will heal your kingdom." Prince Leo returned to Eldoria, where the moon blossom was used to restore the land to its former glory. His kingdom thrived once more, and he was celebrated as a hero. He often thought fondly of the enchanted lantern in the village of Luminera, where his journey had begun. The lantern remained in Grandma Esme's cottage, its light still shining brightly for those who sought guidance. The story of Prince Leo and the enchanted lantern became a beloved legend in Luminera, reminding everyone of the power of bravery, kindness, and the magic of a guiding light. And so, the village of Luminera continued to glow with the light of hope and adventure, ever ready to illuminate the path for those who ventured into the forest in search of their own dreams. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where rolling hills met ancient forests, there was a village named Willowbrook. This village was known for its harmony with nature, with its cottages nestled among blooming flowers and clear, sparkling streams. At the edge of Willowbrook lay the enchanted glade, a mysterious and beautiful meadow that was said to be filled with magic and wonder. Legend had it that the enchanted glade was protected by a guardian, a gentle spirit named Eloan, who kept the glade's magic alive. The villagers respected the glade but rarely ventured into it, as it was said that only those with a pure heart and noble intentions could truly experience its magic. One day, a young boy named Oliver, who loved exploring and solving mysteries, overheard the villagers talking about the enchanted glade. They spoke of how the glade's magic seemed to have faded, and they longed for the vibrant, blooming wonder it once was. Oliver, intrigued and determined to help, decided to embark on a quest to find out what had happened and to restore the magic. With a sturdy walking stick and a small satchel of supplies, Oliver set out towards the enchanted glade. As he entered the meadow, he noticed that the once lush grass had turned dull, and the vibrant flowers had wilted. The glade seemed to be waiting for something, an answer, a touch of magic, or perhaps a key to its revival. Oliver wandered through the glade, calling out to the guardian. "Eloan, are you here? I want to help restore the magic of the enchanted glade." A soft, melodious voice echoed through the meadow. "I am here, young Oliver. To restore the magic, you must prove your worthiness by completing 3 tasks, each testing your heart and spirit." Oliver was eager to begin. The first task was to find the hidden crystal of light, which was said to be concealed within a labyrinth of tall, whispering reeds. The reed swayed as if whispering secrets, and the path was winding and confusing. Oliver focused on the soft whispers and followed them carefully, finding the crystal nestled in a hidden alcove. The crystal of light, Eloan's voice said, represents your ability to see through challenges and find the truth. The second task led Oliver to a serene pond with a single, golden lily floating at its center. The task was to help the pond's inhabitants, tiny water sprites who were in distress because their home had been tainted by a dark shadow. Oliver used his ingenuity and kindness to clear the shadow by using a combination of natural herbs and pure water from the pond, restoring the sprite's home. You have shown compassion and resourcefulness, Eloan's voice praised. The golden lily represents your ability to bring light to darkness and help those in need. The final task was to find the heart of the glade, a legendary flower that bloomed only once every 100 years under the light of the full moon. Oliver had to navigate through a series of enchanted obstacles, glowing barriers and shimmering paths, to reach the heart of the glade. Guided by the moonlight and his determination, he finally found the heart of the glade in a hidden grove, its petals glowing softly. Eloan, I have found the heart of the glade, Oliver said, holding the flower up with pride. Eloan appeared before him, her form radiant and graceful. You have completed the tasks with great courage, wisdom, and compassion. The magic of the enchanted glade will now be restored. As Eloan took the heart of the glade, she gently placed it back into the center of the meadow. The moment the flower touched the ground, the glade burst into color. The grass turned a vibrant green, the flowers bloomed with renewed brilliance, and a gentle, magical glow spread across the entire meadow. The villagers of Willowbrook gathered at the edge of the glade, amazed and delighted by the transformation. They celebrated Oliver's bravery and the return of the glade's magic. Eloan smiled at Oliver and said, "The enchanted glade's magic thrives because of your pure heart and your willingness to help. Remember that the true magic of any place lies in the kindness and courage of those who care for it." From that day forward, the enchanted glade remained a place of wonder and joy, and Oliver's adventure became a cherished story in Willowbrook. The village flourished under the glade's renewed magic, and the tale of Oliver's quest served as a reminder of the power of compassion and the magic that resides within every act of kindness. The tale of the moonlit tree. Once upon a time, in a land where rolling hills met enchanted forests, there was a quiet village named Silverbrook. This village was known for its peaceful atmosphere and the ancient moonlit tree that stood on a hill just outside the village. The moonlit tree was said to possess magical powers, and every full moon, its branches glowed with a soft, silver light. The villagers believed that the tree could grant one wish to anyone who came with a pure heart. In Silverbrook lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known throughout the village for her kindness and courage. She often helped her neighbors with their chores and cared for the sick and elderly. Despite her generous spirit, Elara's family was in great need. Her parents had fallen ill, and her small cottage was falling into disrepair. Elara wished more than anything for her family to be healed and for their home to be safe and warm again. One evening, as the full moon began to rise, casting its silver light over Silverbrook, Elara decided to visit the moonlit tree. She believed that if she made a wish, it could change her family's fortunes for the better. The journey to the moonlit tree. With determination in her heart, Elara set off towards the moonlit tree. She wrapped herself in a warm cloak and carried a small basket of bread and apples to sustain her on the journey. The path to the moonlit tree was lined with glowing flowers that shimmered in the moonlight, guiding her way through the dark forest. As she walked, Elara encountered a wise old owl perched on a branch. The owl had large, golden eyes and spoke with a deep, gentle voice. "To reach the moonlit tree, you must first answer my riddle. I have keys, but open no locks. I have space, but no rooms. You can enter, but not go outside. What am I?" Elara thought carefully and answered, "A piano." The owl nodded in approval and pointed her towards a narrow, winding path that led up the hill to the moonlit tree. Elara thanked the owl and continued on her way. The moonlit tree. When Elara arrived at the moonlit tree, she was mesmerized by its beauty. The tree's silver branches glowed softly in the moonlight, and the air around it was filled with a calming, magical presence. Ilara approached the tree with a sense of awe and reverence. A gentle voice, as soft as the rustling leaves, spoke from the tree. To grant your wish, you must speak from the heart. What you wish for should be for the good of others. Ilara took a deep breath and made her wish. I wish for my family to be healed, for our home to be restored, and for the villagers who have helped us to find happiness and prosperity. As Ilara spoke, the moonlit tree's branches shimmered even brighter, casting a warm, silver light over the hill. The light flowed outwards, spreading across the village and through the forest, touching every corner with its gentle magic. The miracle of the moonlit tree. When Ilara returned to her village, she was greeted with a breathtaking sight. Her parents were well and healthy, their cottage had been miraculously repaired, and there was a sense of peace and joy that had not been there before. The entire village seemed to be thriving, the fields were lush, the wells were full, and there was an abundance of food and happiness. The villagers celebrated with a grand feast in Ilara's honor, marveling at the miracle that had transformed their lives. They were grateful for the magic of the moonlit tree and the selflessness of Ilara. Ilara's story became a cherished tale in Silverbrook, a reminder of the power of kindness and the magic that comes from a pure heart. The moonlit tree continued to stand as a beacon of hope, its silver light a symbol of the love and unity that bound the village together. And so, Silverbrook flourished, forever blessed by the magic of the moonlit tree and the heart of one extraordinary young girl. Once upon a time, in a tranquil kingdom nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there was a magical garden known as the Moonflower Meadow. This meadow was famous for its rare flowers that bloomed only under the light of the full moon. The most enchanting of these was the moonflower, a delicate blossom that glowed with a soft, silvery light. Legend had it that the moonflower held the power to grant one wish to anyone who found it on the night of the full moon. In the nearby village lived a young girl named Isla. She was known for her curiosity and kind heart. Every month, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Isla would visit the Moonflower Meadow, hoping to catch a glimpse of the magical flower. Yet, despite her many visits, she had never seen it bloom. One evening, as the full moon began to rise, Isla decided that this time she would solve the mystery of the moonflower. She dressed warmly in her favorite cloak and set off towards the meadow, her heart full of hope and determination. As Isla entered the meadow, the soft moonlight bathed the landscape in a gentle glow. She wandered among the blooming flowers, their petals shimmering like stars. Despite the beauty around her, she couldn't find the elusive moonflower. Suddenly, Isla noticed a flickering light in the distance. Following the light, she discovered a small, hidden glade where an old, wise-looking owl perched on a branch. The owl's eyes gleamed with ancient knowledge. "Greetings, young Isla," the owl said in a deep, soothing voice. "I see you seek the moonflower. To find it, you must first solve the riddles of the meadow. Only then will the path to the moonflower be revealed." Isla nodded, eager to begin. The owl spoke the first riddle. "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Isla thought for a moment and then answered, "A map." The owl's eyes twinkled with approval. "Correct. Here is your first clue." The owl handed Isla a small, silver leaf that glowed softly in the moonlight. The second riddle followed. "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Isla smiled and answered, "A joke." The owl nodded and gave her a tiny, golden star. "Well done. Now for the final riddle. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Isla thought carefully and answered, "A fire." The owl hooted in delight and gave her a crystal vial filled with stardust. "You have solved the riddles and proven your worth. Follow the light of these clues to find the moonflower." With the clues in hand, Isla followed the silver leaf, the golden star, and the stardust. Each clue seemed to lead her closer to the heart of the meadow. Finally, she arrived at a secluded corner where a soft, shimmering light illuminated a single, radiant moonflower. The moonflower was even more beautiful than Isla had imagined. Its petals glowed with a silvery light, casting a gentle, calming aura over the meadow. Isla approached the flower and gently touched its petals. The moonflower's glow grew brighter, and a soft, melodic voice spoke. "You have found me, brave and kind-hearted Isla. What is your wish?" Isla closed her eyes and thought of her village, which had been struggling with a long drought. She wished for rain to restore the land and bring prosperity to her home. As she spoke her wish, the moonflower's light expanded, filling the meadow with a brilliant, soothing glow. The sky above began to cloud over, and soon, gentle rain began to fall. The meadow soaked up the rain, and the land around the village started to flourish with new life. Isla returned to her village to find that the rain had transformed the barren fields into lush, green pastures. The villagers celebrated, their hearts filled with joy and gratitude for the miraculous change. From that day on, the Moonflower Meadow became a cherished part of the village's history. The tale of Isla's bravery and the magical moonflower was passed down through generations, a reminder of the power of kindness and the wonders that can be found when one follows their heart. And so, the moonflower continued to bloom under the light of the full moon, a symbol of hope and magic in the heart of the meadow. In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and lush meadows, there stood an ancient well at the center of the town square. The well was no ordinary one, it was known as the Wishing Well. Legend had it that the well could grant a single wish to anyone who truly believed in its magic, but only if their heart was pure. The villagers often told stories of the well, passing down tales of those who had their wishes granted, of farmers who wished for bountiful harvests, of travelers who wished for safe journeys, and of lovers who wished for eternal happiness. But there was one rule that everyone knew: you could only wish for something selfless, something that would bring joy to others. In the village lived a girl named Lila. She was kind and thoughtful, always helping those in need. Lila lived with her grandmother, who had raised her after her parents passed away when she was very young. Her grandmother was the most important person in Lila's life, but as time went on, her grandmother grew older and weaker. Lila worried every day that she would lose her. One evening, as Lila was tending to her grandmother, the old woman held her hand and whispered, "Lila, my dear, there is something I want you to have." She handed Lila a small, silver coin. "This is for the Wishing Well. I kept it for years, waiting for the right moment, but I think you should have it now. Use it wisely, my sweet girl." Lila took the coin, feeling the weight of her grandmother's words. She had heard of the well's power, but she had never imagined she would be the one to make a wish. She knew exactly what she wanted, to wish for her grandmother's health to be restored. But she also knew the rule: the wish had to be selfless. That night, Lila lay awake, thinking about what to do. She loved her grandmother more than anything, but she didn't want to break the well's rule. As she thought about it, she remembered all the kindness her grandmother had shown to others over the years, how she had helped neighbors in need, cared for the sick, and shared her wisdom with everyone. Lila realized that the best way to honor her grandmother was to wish for something that would bring happiness to the whole village, just as her grandmother had always done. With that in mind, she knew what her wish would be. The next morning, Lila walked to the wishing well with the silver coin clutched tightly in her hand. The village was quiet, the sun just beginning to rise. As she approached the well, she felt a gentle breeze, as if the well was welcoming her. Lila took a deep breath and closed her eyes, thinking of all the people in the village, including her grandmother. She tossed the coin into the well and whispered, "I wish for a garden to grow in the heart of our village, a garden that will bring joy and nourishment to all who live here." The well was silent for a moment, and then Lila heard a soft, melodious sound, like the tinkling of bells. She opened her eyes and saw a faint glow emanating from the well. The light spread out, covering the ground around the well, and wherever it touched, flowers and plants began to grow. Within moments, the village square had transformed into a beautiful garden, filled with vibrant flowers, lush greenery, and fruit-bearing trees. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blossoms, and the sound of birds singing in the trees. The villagers soon awoke to find the garden, and they were amazed. They gathered in the square, marveling at the beauty that had appeared overnight. Lila's grandmother, feeling stronger than she had in years, joined them, her face lighting up with joy at the sight. Lila stood by the well, her heart swelling with happiness. She knew that her wish had been granted, not just for her grandmother, but for everyone. The garden became a place where the villagers would come together, sharing in its bounty and finding peace and joy in its beauty. As time passed, the garden grew even more magnificent, and the village prospered. Lila's grandmother regained her strength, and the villagers often spoke of the day the wishing well had granted Lila's wish. They never knew exactly what she had wished for, but they knew that it had been made with a heart full of love. Lila would often visit the well, sitting by its edge and watching the garden grow. She knew that the true magic of the well wasn't just in granting wishes, but in teaching everyone the power of selflessness and the joy that comes from giving to others. And so, the village thrived, with the wishing well and its magical garden at its heart, a symbol of the love and kindness that Lila had shown with her simple, yet powerful wish. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between sparkling rivers and towering mountains, there was a quaint village named Everwood. Everwood was renowned for its lush meadows and the enchanting glimmering lake, which was said to hold magical properties. The lake was guarded by a wise, ancient spirit known as the Lake Guardian. In Everwood lived a young girl named Arya, who had a heart full of curiosity and a spirit full of adventure. Arya loved exploring the forests and meadows around the village, but she was especially fascinated by the legend surrounding Glimmering Lake. The most intriguing tale was about a hidden treasure known as the Star of Everwood, which was said to be able to grant one wish to anyone pure of heart. One crisp autumn morning, as the first rays of sunlight kissed the lake's surface, Arya overheard an old fisherman talking about a strange occurrence at Glimmering Lake. He spoke of a shadowy figure seen near the lake at night and how the once crystal-clear waters had turned murky. Concerned for the lake's well-being, Arya decided to investigate. She packed a small bag with provisions, a lantern, and a notebook, and set out towards the lake, determined to uncover the mystery and help restore its magic. As she approached the lake, the water shimmered with an unusual, dark hue. Arya carefully stepped closer and noticed a small, worn path leading around the lake's edge. The path was surrounded by overgrown vines and brambles, hinting that it had not been used in a long time. Following the path, Arya reached a secluded grotto where a hidden entrance led underground. With a deep breath and her lantern in hand, she descended into the cool, dimly lit cavern. The cave was adorned with glowing crystals that cast eerie reflections on the walls, and the air was filled with a faint, melodious hum. At the heart of the cavern was a grand chamber, and in its center stood an ancient pedestal. On the pedestal rested the Star of Everwood, its light flickering weakly. Surrounding the pedestal was a swirling, dark mist, and within it, a shadowy figure moved menacingly. As Arya approached, the shadowy figure revealed itself to be a fallen sorcerer, once a guardian of magic who had turned to dark magic out of envy and greed. "Who dares enter my domain?" the sorcerer's voice echoed ominously. "I am Arya," she said bravely. "I've come to restore the magic of Glimmering Lake and to reclaim the Star of Everwood." The sorcerer sneered. "The star is mine now, and with it, I will spread darkness across the kingdom." Arya stood firm. "The star's light is meant to bring hope and harmony, not darkness. I will stop you." The sorcerer laughed and challenged Arya to prove her worth. "To take the star, you must pass 3 trials, of courage, wisdom, and heart." Arya accepted the challenge. The first trial, courage, required her to cross a bridge made of shadows over a bottomless chasm. With steady steps and unwavering resolve, Arya crossed the bridge, her bravery guiding her through the darkness. The second trial, wisdom, involved solving a complex riddle inscribed on an ancient stone. The riddle was, "I have keys but open no locks, I have space but no room, you can enter but not go inside." "What am I?" Arya thought deeply and answered, "A piano." The stone's surface glowed, and a passageway opened, leading Arya to the final trial. The last trial, heart, required her to confront the sorcerer directly and show compassion. The sorcerer, sensing the strength of Arya's heart, began to waver. "Why do you care so much about a magical artifact?" he asked. Arya responded, "It's not just about the artifact. It's about the light and hope it represents for everyone." you, too, can find redemption and use your magic for good. Moved by Aria's words, the sorcerer's dark aura began to dissolve. He realized the error of his ways and relinquished the Star of Everwood. The star's light grew bright and warm once more, and the dark mist vanished, restoring the cavern's beauty. Aria returned to Glimmering Lake with the star, and its waters cleared instantly. The village celebrated her bravery and kindness, and the lake's magic was renewed. The sorcerer, now redeemed, vowed to help protect the kingdom and use his powers for good. Aria's adventure became a beloved tale in Everwood, a story of courage, wisdom, and the power of a pure heart. And so, Aria, the Lake Guardian, and the people of Everwood lived happily ever after, surrounded by the light and magic of their beautiful land. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between misty mountains and lush, enchanted forests, there lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known throughout the land for her kind heart and her gift for communicating with animals. She lived with her grandmother, the village healer, in a cozy cottage surrounded by blooming flowers and towering trees. One morning, as Elara tended to the garden, a mysterious raven landed on her windowsill. Its feathers shimmered like moonlight, and its eyes gleamed with an unusual intelligence. The raven cawed softly, catching Elara's attention. It held a tiny scroll in its beak, which it carefully dropped at her feet. Curious, Elara unrolled the scroll. It was an old, faded map with a single message written in elegant script: to find the heart of the forest, follow the path of the silver oak. Below the message was a drawing of a magnificent tree with leaves that sparkled like silver. Intrigued by the message, Elara showed the map to her grandmother. The old woman's eyes widened with recognition. The heart of the forest, she said, is a legendary gem said to hold the power to heal and bring prosperity. It is hidden deep within the enchanted woods, protected by ancient magic. Determined to find the heart and help her village, which had recently faced a terrible drought, Elara set off on her adventure. With the map in hand, she ventured into the forest, her heart full of hope and bravery. The enchanted woods were a place of wonder and mystery. The trees whispered secrets, and the flowers glowed with an ethereal light. As Elara walked, she encountered various magical creatures. A friendly fox guided her through a maze of thorns, a wise old owl shared riddles to unlock hidden paths, and a family of fireflies illuminated her way during the twilight hours. After many days of traveling, Elara arrived at a glade where a towering silver oak stood in majestic splendor. Its leaves shimmered in the moonlight, just as the map had described. At the base of the tree was a small, shimmering pool, its waters reflecting the stars above. Elara approached the pool and saw a beautiful crystal lying on a bed of moss. It was the heart of the forest, glowing with a soft, warm light. As she reached for the gem, the ground trembled, and a gentle but stern voice echoed through the glade. To take the heart, one must prove their pure intentions, the voice said. What would you do with such power? Elara thought carefully before answering. I seek to bring healing and prosperity to my village, which has suffered from a great drought. I wish to use the heart to restore our lands and help those in need. The voice was silent for a moment, then the shimmering light of the heart grew brighter. Your intentions are pure, it said. You may take the heart, but remember, true magic lies not in the gem, but in the kindness of your heart and the strength of your spirit. With gratitude and reverence, Elara carefully took the heart of the forest and began her journey home. Along the way, the forest seemed to come alive with joy, as if celebrating the return of its precious gem. When she finally reached her village, Elara presented the heart to her grandmother. The old healer placed the gem in a special altar, and its light spread throughout the land. The drought ended, rivers flowed once more, and the village flourished with bountiful harvests and renewed hope. Elara's bravery and kindness were celebrated by all, and the village prospered like never before. The enchanted forest remained a place of magic and mystery, but now its heart was forever connected to the village it had helped save. And so, Elara lived happily, knowing that the true magic of the heart of the forest was not just in its power, but in the spirit of those who sought to use it for good. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. In the heart of a sprawling kingdom, nestled between towering mountains and endless meadows, there was a quaint village named Everwood. Everwood was famous for its lush gardens and the shimmering river that wound through its center. The village was known to be under the protection of a magical sapphire stone, said to bring prosperity and peace. The sapphire stone was kept hidden in the tallest tower of the village's castle, watched over by a wise old wizard named Cedric. Cedric had dedicated his life to ensuring that the stone's magic remained undisturbed. However, rumors began to spread that a dark sorcerer, Morgoth, was plotting to steal the sapphire and use its power for his own wicked purposes. One crisp autumn morning, a courageous young woman named Arya, known for her bravery and quick thinking, learned about the danger threatening her beloved village. Determined to protect Everwood, Arya sought out Cedric to offer her help. Cedric, though initially hesitant, recognized Arya's fierce determination and agreed to guide her through the castle's many defenses. He handed her a small, enchanted map that would lead her to the sapphire stone. The map was magical, glowing softly and showing the way through the castle's hidden passages and secret traps. Arya set off on her quest, the map guiding her through winding corridors and ancient staircases. The castle was filled with puzzles and obstacles, each one more challenging than the last. As she navigated the castle, she encountered 3 trials, each testing her courage and wisdom. Trial 1, the Labyrinth of Shadows. Arya entered a vast labyrinth where the walls seemed to shift and move. Shadows danced along the pathways, creating illusions and misleading her. To find her way, Arya focused on the gentle hum of her enchanted map, which pulsed with a soft light. By trusting her instincts and following the map's guidance, she found the correct path and exited the labyrinth. Trial 2, the Hall of Echoes. In the Hall of Echoes, Arya faced a series of enchanted mirrors that repeated her voice and created confusing echoes. To pass this trial, she needed to decipher the true voice among the echoes. Using her keen sense of listening and her knowledge of ancient riddles, Arya solved the puzzle and discovered the hidden door that led her to the next challenge. Trial 3, the Chamber of Fire. The final trial was a chamber filled with blazing fire pits and intense heat. To cross safely, Arya needed to cool the flames using a magical incantation written in an ancient script. With Cedric's guidance and her own bravery, Arya recited the incantation, and the flames died down, revealing a staircase leading to the tower where the sapphire stone was kept. At the top of the tower, Arya found the sapphire stone, glowing with a brilliant, calming light. As she approached it, Morgoth appeared, his dark robes billowing as he prepared to seize the stone. Arya confronted the sorcerer, using her quick thinking to outwit him. She cleverly distracted Morgoth with a series of illusions created by her own magic, buying herself enough time to place protective wards around the sapphire. Morgoth, enraged and frustrated, was forced to retreat, unable to break through the wards. With the sapphire stone safe and secure, Arya returned to the village, where she was hailed as a hero. Cedric praised her bravery and presented her with a special token, a silver locket containing a tiny piece of the sapphire's magic. From that day on, Everwood thrived under the protection of the sapphire stone, and Arya's name became legendary. She continued to safeguard her village and share her wisdom, knowing that true bravery and cleverness were the greatest tools in protecting what one holds dear. And so, under the shimmering sky and with the magic of the sapphire stone shining brightly, Everwood remained a beacon of hope and prosperity, forever protected by the courage of a single brave heart. The tale of the Enchanted Garden. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by lush hills and clear streams, there lived a young boy named Oliver. He was a curious and kind-hearted child, known for his love of plants and nature. Oliver's home was small, but his garden was large and filled with every kind of flower, bird, and tree you could imagine. He spent his days tending to his plants, talking to them as if they were his friends. Oliver's favorite part of his garden was an ancient, twisted oak tree that stood at the center. The tree was said to be magical, and the villagers believed that it had been planted by a powerful sorceress long ago. The tree's branches stretched wide, and its leaves shimmered with a faint golden light whenever the sun set. No one knew what kind of magic the tree held, but everyone agreed it was special. One summer evening, As the sun dipped below the horizon, Oliver noticed something strange. The leaves of the old oak tree were glowing brighter than usual, and the air around it seemed to hum with energy. Curious, Oliver approached the tree and placed his hand on its trunk. As soon as his hand touched the bark, the ground beneath him began to tremble. The roots of the tree shifted, and the earth parted to reveal a hidden stone staircase leading deep underground. Oliver hesitated for only a moment before his curiosity got the better of him. He took a deep breath and began to descend the staircase. The stairs spiraled down for what felt like an eternity, but eventually, Oliver reached the bottom. He found himself in a vast underground chamber illuminated by soft, glowing crystals embedded in the walls. In the center of the chamber was a garden unlike any Oliver had ever seen. The plants were tall and vibrant, their colors more brilliant than anything on the surface. The air was thick with the scent of flowers, and the sound of trickling water echoed through the chamber. As Oliver stepped into the garden, he felt a warm breeze brush against his face. The plants seemed to sway in rhythm with the breeze, and he heard a soft, melodious voice whispering through the air. "Welcome, young gardener," the voice said. "You have found the enchanted garden, a place of ancient magic. Here, the plants hold secrets and powers beyond imagination. You are the first to discover this place in many centuries." Oliver looked around, trying to find the source of the voice, but saw no one. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice trembling with excitement. "I am the spirit of the garden," the voice replied. "I have watched over this place for centuries, waiting for someone worthy to find it. You have cared for the plants above with such love and devotion that I have decided to reveal this hidden sanctuary to you." Oliver's heart swelled with pride. "What can I do here?" he asked. The spirit chuckled softly. "In this garden, the plants are alive in ways you cannot imagine. Each one holds a different kind of magic. Some can heal any wound, others can grant wisdom or courage, and a few can even make your wildest dreams come true. But be warned, young Oliver, magic is powerful, and it must be used wisely." Oliver nodded eagerly. "I promise to be careful. Can I take some of these plants back to the surface to help the villagers?" The spirit's voice grew serious. "You may take only one plant with you, Oliver. Choose wisely, for it will change the fate of your village." Oliver looked around the garden, marveling at the beauty and variety of the plants. There were flowers with petals that glowed like the moon, trees with leaves made of pure gold, and vines that hummed with energy. But as he explored, his eyes were drawn to a small, unassuming plant with delicate blue flowers. It wasn't as flashy as the others, but something about it called to him. He knelt beside the plant and touched its leaves. "What is this one?" he asked. "That is the flower of hope," the spirit replied. "Its magic is simple but powerful. It can lift the spirits of anyone who sees it, filling their heart with hope and courage. In times of darkness, it shines the brightest." Oliver smiled. He knew this was the plant he wanted to take back to his village. "I choose the flower of hope," he said. The spirit's voice was warm with approval. "A wise choice, young one. Take it with you, and remember that hope is the most powerful magic of all." The plant's roots gently loosened from the earth, and Oliver carefully lifted it from the ground. As soon as he did, the garden began to fade, and the stone staircase reappeared. The spirit's voice whispered one last time, "Go now, and share the hope you have found." Oliver ascended the staircase, carrying the flower of hope in his arms. When he reached the surface, he found the night sky filled with stars, and the old oak tree standing as it always had. He planted the flower of hope in the center of his garden, where everyone in the village could see it. The next morning, the villagers noticed the new addition to Oliver's garden. As they gazed at the delicate blue flowers, they felt a strange warmth in their hearts. Worries that had weighed heavily on their minds began to fade, replaced by a sense of peace and optimism. The village, once quiet and reserved, soon became a place of laughter and joy. People worked together, helping one another and facing challenges with newfound courage. Word of the magical flower spread, and soon people from neighboring villages came to see it. Oliver's garden became a place of pilgrimage, where those in need of hope could come and find solace. The village flourished, and the once lonely gardener became a beloved figure, known far and wide for his kindness and the miracle he had brought to the land. Years passed, and though the flower of hope never withered, Oliver grew old. As he lay in his bed one evening, surrounded by the love of his fellow villagers, he felt a familiar warmth in his heart. The spirit of the garden whispered to him once more, "You have done well, Oliver. Your life has been a beacon of hope for all who knew you. Rest now, knowing that your garden will continue to bring light to the world." With a contented smile, Oliver closed his eyes for the last time, knowing that his legacy would live on in the hearts of all who had been touched by the flower of hope. And so, the village continued to thrive, and the story of Oliver and his enchanted garden was passed down through the generations. The flower of hope remained a symbol of the power of kindness and the magic that lies within every heart. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a cozy little village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a curious kitten named Kiki. Kiki had bright green eyes, soft gray fur, and an insatiable curiosity about the world around her. While the other kittens in the village were content to play with yarn and chase butterflies, Kiki always dreamed of discovering new and exciting places. One sunny morning, as Kiki was exploring the outskirts of the village, she stumbled upon an old, forgotten path overgrown with ivy and wildflowers. Her whiskers twitched with excitement as she sniffed the air. She had never seen this path before, and her adventurous spirit urged her to follow it. Kiki trotted down the path, her paws making soft sounds on the moss-covered ground. The further she went, the more magical the surroundings became. Birds with bright plumage sang sweet melodies, and butterflies of every color danced around her. After a while, Kiki reached a tall, ancient wooden gate covered in vines. With a gentle push of her paw, the gate creaked open, revealing a hidden garden. It was the most beautiful place Kiki had ever seen. The garden was filled with vibrant flowers, tall trees with golden leaves, and a sparkling stream that wound its way through the center. At the heart of the garden stood a magnificent fountain, its water glistening in the sunlight. As Kiki explored the garden, she noticed something unusual about the fountain. At its base was an intricate mosaic depicting a story. It showed a young girl and a kitten, just like Kiki, discovering the garden and embarking on a grand adventure. Curiosity piqued, Kiki examined the mosaic closely and found a hidden compartment. Inside was a small, ornate key. "I wonder what this opens," Kiki thought, her green eyes sparkling with anticipation. Just then, a soft voice called out, "Hello, little kitten. What brings you to our magical garden?" Kiki turned to see a graceful, shimmering fairy with delicate wings fluttering nearby. The fairy introduced herself as Lila, the guardian of the hidden garden. "Hello, Lila," Kiki replied. "I found this key near the fountain. Do you know what it opens?" Lila smiled kindly. "That key unlocks the door to the enchanted glade, a place filled with wonders and secrets. But the journey to the glade is not easy. You must be brave and kind-hearted to reach it." Kiki felt a mix of excitement and determination. "I'm ready for the adventure," she said confidently. Lila nodded and pointed to a small, hidden door at the edge of the garden. Kiki approached the door, inserted the key, and with a soft click, it opened. Beyond the door lay a path lined with glowing flowers and twinkling lights. As Kiki ventured down the path, she encountered various magical creatures. She helped a family of fireflies find their lost child, guided a confused hedgehog back to his home, and shared her food with a hungry rabbit. With each act of kindness, the path grew brighter, and Kiki felt more confident. Finally, after what seemed like a long journey, Kiki reached the enchanted glade. It was a breathtaking sight. The glade was filled with the soft glow of bioluminescent plants, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of jasmine. In the center of the glade was a large, ancient tree with golden bark and silver leaves. At the base of the tree was a small door, much like the one in the garden. Kiki used the key one last time, and the door opened to reveal a hidden chamber filled with treasures, shimmering crystals, golden trinkets, and a book bound in velvet. Kiki carefully opened the book, and to her surprise, it told the story of her journey, the friends she had helped and the challenges she had overcome. At the end of the story, it read, "The greatest treasure of all is the kindness and courage you have shown." Just then, Lila appeared beside her. "You have done well, Kiki," she said softly. "This glade and its treasures are a reward for your bravery and kindness. You are always welcome here." Kiki's heart swelled with pride and happiness. She thanked Lila and promised to return. With the key in her paw, she made her way back to the hidden garden and through the old gate, returning to the village. The other kittens greeted her with wide eyes and eager questions about her adventure. Kiki shared her story, and from that day on, she was known as the bravest and kindest kitten in the village. Kiki continued to explore, always ready for the next adventure, and she never forgot the magical garden and the enchanted glade. She kept the key close, a reminder of the incredible journey and the friends she had made along the way. And so, Kiki the curious kitten lived happily, with a heart full of kindness and a spirit always eager for the next adventure. The end. Once upon a time, in the heart of a lush, enchanted forest, there was a small village named Verdantia. Verdantia was a place of wonder, where flowers sang in the breeze and trees whispered ancient secrets. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, but they were most captivated by the legend of the Moonlit Melody, a magical tune said to be played by a mysterious musician who appeared only on the full moon. The legend told of a beautiful, silver harp that was said to grant a single wish to anyone who heard its melody under the light of the full moon. The harp was believed to be hidden in the depths of the Moonlight Grove, a secret place known only to the most determined seekers. Among the villagers was a young girl named Mira. Mira had a heart full of dreams and a deep love for music. She had grown up hearing the tale of the Moonlit Melody and often imagined what it would be like to hear the magical harp. Her village had recently fallen on hard times, with crops failing and the river running dry. Mira's wish was to restore her village's prosperity and happiness. One evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Mira decided to embark on a quest to find the Moonlit Melody. She followed the moon's silvery glow into the forest, guided by a sense of purpose and hope. As Mira walked deeper into the woods, she came upon a path lined with glowing fireflies. The fireflies formed a trail that seemed to lead her toward the heart of the forest. Following their gentle light, Mira soon reached the edge of a glistening, moonlit grove. The grove was filled with an otherworldly glow, and in the center stood an ancient oak tree with a golden door embedded in its trunk. With a deep breath, Mira approached the door and gently pushed it open. Inside was a breathtaking scene, a serene, moonlit glade surrounded by shimmering flowers and soft, twinkling lights. At the center of the glade was a silver harp, its strings glowing with a soft, ethereal light. As Mira stepped closer, a figure emerged from the shadows, a graceful, elven musician with flowing silver hair and a gentle smile. The musician was the guardian of the Moonlit Melody, and he played the harp with a touch so delicate that it seemed to blend with the very essence of the moonlight. Mira stood in awe as the enchanting melody filled the air. The music was like a whisper of the night wind, a dance of moonbeams, and a symphony of stars. The melody seemed to touch her heart deeply, filling her with a sense of peace and hope. After the musician finished playing, he looked at Mira with kind eyes. "You have found the Moonlit Melody," he said softly. "The magic of this harp can grant a single wish to one who seeks it with a pure heart. What is your wish?" Mira took a deep breath and spoke with sincerity. "I wish for my village to be restored to its former glory, so that my people may live in happiness and harmony once again." The musician nodded and placed a hand on the harp. The strings began to shimmer with an even brighter light, and a gentle breeze carried the magic of the melody through the forest. Mira watched in wonder as the grove transformed into a radiant tapestry of colors and light. As Mira returned to her village, she was greeted by a marvelous sight. The crops had flourished, the river was flowing abundantly, and the village was filled with a renewed sense of joy and prosperity. The villagers celebrated their good fortune, marveling at the sudden change that had brought them such happiness. Myra's bravery and the magic of the moonlit melody had restored their land, and the tale of her journey became a cherished story in Verdantia. The village thrived under the light of the full moon, and Myra's love for music and her selfless wish became a beacon of hope and inspiration for generations to come. And so, the moonlit melody continued to play softly in the hearts of the villagers, a reminder of the magic that lies within the pure and selfless wishes of those who seek to bring joy to others.